WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, off and running. Brian here with you, Bree Lynn producing, broadcasting live from the 180 Pro studio as we start off at 81 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge, experiencing whatever piece of Bertha we're getting. Getting you ready for a busy Thursday show this morning. We'll talk a little back to school in our 7 o'clock hour. We'll talk a little bit about Liz Murrell's charges being thrown out, but she ain't done. We got Haggai Davis coming up in half an hour with Cup of Tech Gumbo. We got a lot to get to, so let's get to it. Top stories and trending. Let's go. The Kingfish are back. Baton Rouge's new federal prospects hockey league, minor league hockey club is adopting the name of the capital city's late 90s, early 2000s team. The Kingfish season will start in October. A $500,000 bond was set yesterday for Thomas Morris, a West Feliciana Parish man who deputies arrested in a kidnapping and who might be connected to the disappearances of two capital area women as well. And there might be more than that. Woody Overton we haven't talked to him in a while. Woody Overton from the Real Life, Real Crime podcast says, based off of tips from his listeners, Morris might be connected to a ton more cases. LED Secretary Susan Bourgeois was the speaker and guest at the Rotary Club yesterday. In her talk, she recapped the $150+ billion in investments that the state has seen in her time in the role, but she also noted what's next, as there's currently 190 active projects with a $206 billion value being worked right now. The charges have been thrown out, but the saga's not over. After her indictment in New Orleans disappeared, Attorney General Liz Murrell said she's committed to finding out who ordered an Orleans Parish grand jury to investigate her. She put out a few statements on the matter. We will cover those at the end of the 7 o'clock hour, like 7:55. Okay, we need to stick on topic here. Tropical Storm Bertha continues to make its way across the Gulf Coast. We are in the rear view at this point right now. As of the 4 a.m. numbers, the new numbers will come out at 7 o'clock. But as of the 4 a.m. numbers, Bertha is almost due south of Lafayette right now. Still in the Gulf of Mexico, actually. It crossed over some land as it made its way through, but it's back out physically over water right now. Aiming for the Gulf Coast of Texas at this point. It is still tropical storm status, though barely. Maximum sustained winds are 45 miles per hour. I mean, if you were out and about last night, and I know I oversimplified it when we were talking with Dr. Josh Eachus, but it just felt like a hairdryer blowing in your face. That was about it. What you got, Breland?
By a vote of 216 and 214, the House late Wednesday adopted a sweeping budget resolution for a $95 billion package to provide funding for defense and intelligence, foreign aid, and components of the elections overhaul effort, the Save America Act.
Yep. Let's go. Let's get it. I'm here for it. It's overdue and needed. We talked with the R Street Institute on Monday about how, like, when it comes to fiscal responsibility, getting this done in this manner is not the best way to save money, but it's also a great way to not get down to the 11 o'clock hour on the last day and look at government shutdowns. And I know it's a sad, sad world that we live in. If I could look at, hey, the government didn't shut down, and that's a win.
Right.
You know,
but it's something.
Hey, we tied our own shoes. Or remember the Adam Sandler movie Big Daddy?
Yes.
I wiped my own. No. We're not going to go there.
No. Rev Fiber has entered into a multi-year partnership with the LSU Athletic Department, becoming the exclusive internet partner ahead of the 2026 football season.
I'm all about this. I'm a big Rev fan.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yep. Big fan. So they launched Rev Fiber, just a couple months ago, if I'm not mistaken. And they've got a number of NIL deals already out there right now. In fact, tight end freak show, Trey Green, who's at SEC Media Days today. He's one of the athletes taking part, but this could be a whole lot of digital and online advertising, a lot of from reading this story of the Daily Report yesterday, a lot of branding within the game, a lot of game day activations going on. There's going to be, like I said, the student athletes, the NIL deals and whatnot. I mean, this is a very, very big dive for Rev. And when you think about, and when you think about the, what's the word I'm looking for? Meteoric rise from ETEL just a few years ago to now swimming in the same waters as some of the biggest LNG companies around. Like, it just, to go to that level on with the partnership with LSU, like, it just, to have that growth in business is just remarkable in our own backyard. So, and it's because they do awesome work. It's because of who they are. So that's good stuff.
Yes, indeed. We've got a shark alligator rural story this morning.
Mm-hmm.
The city of Harpswell, Maine will fly shark warning flags at its beaches all summer, doing away with the policy that took the flags down within 24 hours of each sighting. This is due to the frequency of sightings this year. Holy smokes.
So, it was a number of years, it was like 6 years ago or something. I was reading the story last night. It was about 6 years ago. There was a deadly shark attack in Maine. It was the first deadly shark attack in Maine history, which kind of surprised me, because Maine is coastal. All of Maine is coastal. So it kind of surprised me that they never had a recorded fatal shark attack in history. But since that was, half a decade ago, they adopted the season-long policy. They'd put it out, they take it down, put it out, take it down. Well, so there's no lifeguards out there, obviously. It's not like, where'd y'all go? Miramar. It's not
Miramar
like,
Beach.
It's not like anywhere along the Gulf Coast. It's not. It's Maine, and the sharks are just more and more. That's increasingly prevalent to where just the everyday people are like, yeah, there's two over there. I see another one over that way. So they're like, you know what? Just keep the flags up.
So I hate to say this word because I just don't like this word, but I hate to ask a stupid question. I thought sharks tend to like warmer waters, and up in Maine,
you would assume the water's cooler,
right? Because it's way up there, and so the sharks becoming more frequent up there. That, to me, I would almost be shocked by that.
So yes, well, I guess it also depends on the shark too, though, right? Because different sharks like different environments. Most sharks do like warm water. That's why the Gulf of Mexico is just it's
hot for them,
right? Yeah, if you'll pardon the pun, hot. It's hotbedded. It's a hotbed, I should say.
That's interesting.
Great whites, though, it's more like tiger sharks, bull sharks, hammerhead sharks, mako sharks. Those are all the hot water ones. Great whites you'll find anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of times it'll have to do more with water depth than water temperature.
Okay.
Yeah. The bigger sharks will go a little bit deeper.
Man, okay. So Maine, they're flying it nonstop now. Wow. Okay.
Yep. We're at 6:11. Oh, no, we're at 6:13 at Talk 107.3 FM. Tell you what, let's stay on time here. Quick break, come back. We got sports next. 616 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. A little bit deeper dive into SEC Media Days today. Kalen DeBoer from Alabama was at the podium yesterday. Pete Golding from Ole Miss was at the podium yesterday. We'll get into Pete Golding in our next segment because obviously the Ole Miss LSU stuff is going to be a pretty big story. LSU's turn at the podium will be today. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be the 8 o'clock hour. So while we'll still be on the air when LSU's doing their thing. Once again, and we talked with Matt Moscona yesterday, Louisianasports.net. That's going to be your home base for all of the coverage. If you're not following it live, our sister station 104.5 ESPN, they've just, posted up shop over there. They might as well all stay in one house and host a reality show when they're not doing coverage because everybody's in Tampa right now. So we're all over it, right down the hall. Actually, I should say upstairs and down the hall at 104.5 ESPN. As for the coverage from yesterday, Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer was at the podium. The Crimson Tide picked up a college playoff win last year in DeBoer's second season. He's rolling into his third. He says he knows that as Alabama, his success is measured not by playoff appearances, but by natties.
I certainly know that that's an important part of what's happened in the program. So I wouldn't doubt that if that's the case. I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on just helping our program be the best and trying to bring out the best and raise the level of everyone around me.
So the Crimson Tide will roll into Tiger Stadium on November 7th. With the Tide, they're going to have some decisions to make lineup-wise. 3-year DeBoer backup Austin Mack and former top recruit Keelan Russell are competing for the starting quarterback spot this season. What is DeBoer looking at between those two? Cut 18.
And it's going to be one that when we do make the decision that we'll be confident we'll do a great job because they are two guys that are well respected by our entire football team because of how they work, who they are as people, and the production and what they look like on the football field.
So oftentimes when it comes to college football scheduling, it's not who you play, but when and where you play them. Obviously for LSU, you want Alabama in your own backyard. You want Tiger Stadium to be the venue there. Sure. Yes. But you have to wait till November to get them. You have to wait till that first weekend in November to get them, which means that as there's a competition at quarterback there and things move forward, that whoever settles in as the starter will get a number of starts under his belt before he gets to Tiger Stadium. So, yeah, you kind of wish sometimes you would get Alabama earlier in the season for times like this. Now, conversely, we're looking at a brand new starter and a brand new system here. So I guess that door swings both ways. But November 7th is when LSU and Alabama will square off. Like I said, Ole Miss's Pete Golding was also at the podium yesterday. We got a couple cuts for you. That's coming your way after we're being responsible, y'all. We're staying on time. We got the Fox Business Report coming your way right now. I'll check traffic in just a minute here on Talk 107.3. Tell me what the titles of those Golding cuts are.
For his current relationship with Kevin.
Okay.
5, everybody won with Chip and Sada.
Yeah.
And 9 on LSU game.
Okay, thank you.
I need to get some glue and glue this thing back on.
Tell Landon.
Because I'm noticing it's just getting worse.
Yeah.
That one day.
Yeah, they're not gonna replace it, but they can patchwork it.
Oh, Sonny says I support mornings with Brian Haldane too much. I'm listening while at the DTR, waiting for my direct flight to DC.
Hey, nice. You said sunny. That's Sunny Weathers?
Yes, Sunny Weathers.
Awesome. Which, yeah, this current Words with Friends board is not working for me, man. I got nothing. And I've been, yeah, and Byron. The only places to build off new words are letters I can't build off words with. So, yeah. All right. Our biggest traffic thing to report right now is one Haggai Davis is sitting there looking at a train that is blocking up everything from downtown. Dead serious. From downtown all the way through campus, there's a train that's just not moving. It's sitting on the tracks. It's blocking Nicholson. It's blocking Skip Burtman Drive. It's blocking everything from here to there. So Coppola Gumbo might be a telephonic version if Haggai can't find his way around it this morning. But it's not moving.
Oh, gosh.
So if you're heading downtown, or if you're heading from, like, let's say River Bend towards downtown or anywhere in that area, you might need to be on the lookout for that. Is it's going to jam up the works until it decides it wants to move. Now, as far as the rest of traffic is concerned, and I'm doing this backwards since we started on the surface streets, let's stay on the surface streets. Take you up to Plank Road at Lower Zachary Road. There's an accident in the roadway. Been out there for about 45 minutes right now. That is, like I said, Plank at Lower Zachary Road. And bringing you over to the interstates, nothing going on. Absolutely nothing going on the interstates right now. We are looking at about as smooth sailing as we could possibly see to start off your Thursday morning. That is your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. It is 6:24, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Going to dive into sports here in just a second. Couple of housekeeping notes real quick. Let me give you the rest of the rundown. I'm sorry, dive into part 2 of sports in just a second. Let me give you the rest of the rundown. We got Haggai either on the phone or on a train. In just a little bit, coming up about 10 minutes from right now. 7:15, Patrick Martin from the school board's coming by. We're going to talk about the upcoming school year. We're going to recap LEAP scores, maybe dive into a few other items. Then we got Crimestoppers. I believe today is the day that Crimestoppers hands off to eye care. So I'm sure that'll be a back to school segment too. In the 8 o'clock hour, St. George City Councilman Drew Murrell is running for Justice of the Peace. That's a position I don't think most of us knew was even an elected post. But what does that entail? What does that look like? We'll talk with Drew at 8:15. And then Youngsville's mayor is going to be coming in at 8:35. Why? Because the band Little Big Town is coming to his Little Big Town. I believe that's in September.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, right. That'll be coming. The concert's actually in September, but when was the last time you heard of Youngsville as like a concert destination?
When I lived in Lafayette, this was I moved in 2017. It was so teeny. Yes, it was growing, but it's not what it is today. And that's incredible for Youngsville.
Yeah. So
it's just grown so much.
We'll chat with Youngsville's mayor at 8:35. Before we get you to Pete Golding cuts from yesterday at SEC Media Days, do you need to remind you about the folks over at Industry Makes? IndustryMakes.org is their website. IndustryMakes.org. Did you know that more than 90% of all manufactured goods are directly touched by the business of chemistry? So much so that the U.S. government considers the chemical sector a critical part of our country's infrastructure. These are the things we don't hear about when you see protests of the industries up and down the river. These are the things you don't hear about when you see the folks showing up with picket signs. The other part you don't hear about is how far Louisiana goes to make sure that it's done safely, to make sure that, and we have it built into law. We have a number of things built into law that say, for example, We've got a dozen federal laws and a number of state laws that, provide for or lend towards chemical safety. Doing it the right way here in Louisiana. Now, who's speaking up on their behalf? That's where Industry Makes comes in. If you want to learn more, visit industrymakes.org. Ole Miss was at the podium yesterday, one of 4 teams at the podium yesterday for SEC Media Days. Pete Golding, he had a number of things to say, obviously, about with Lane Kiffin going from Ole Miss to LSU. I want to start off with cut 5, if we could, because Pete Golding looks at this. I mean, obviously, if you're moving in as head coach, you're looking at this as a win-win. Cut 5.
I tell a lot of these people, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I don't care. All right. Like I told an Ole Miss group the other day at 21, I said, all right, in 2021, if you said you could look in 2025 and you're about to be 11-1 and go to the playoff, would you take it if your coach was leaving? They're like, hell yeah. I was like, you would. Everybody won from it. It's okay. Keith, like you made a great hire. He did a great job. Every place isn't for everybody. That's coaches, that's players, that's your job, that's everything. And that's okay.
As far as Golding's personal relationship with Lane Kiffin, here's what he had to say. Cut 4.
Lane and I are good. So, I did not know Coach Kiffin prior to taking the Ole Miss job. I think everybody just assumes Alabama. I wasn't at Alabama when Coach Kiffin was, so our relationship really grew in those 3.5 years. And he did a lot for me. And I was very, very appreciative of how he treated me and my family and learned a lot from him. So I have no ill will towards Coach Kiffin. He texts me on a regular basis, and there's certain things that we'll talk about, and there's certain things that we don't talk about. He's very competitive, just like I'm very competitive, right? And so obviously a lot of this went a different direction when now he had a new job with new responsibilities, and he's going to be super competitive to be the best that he can at that job, right? Which is his job. And so I can separate the two. I know some people can't, right? But he decided what was better for him and his family, and that's for him to decide.
Okay, so now that poses an interesting question to the Ole Miss fan base. Your own coach doesn't hate Lane Kiffin. So wouldn't you follow the lead of your own coach, or are you going to continue to hate Lane Kiffin as well? One more from yesterday, and that was Pete Golding teeing up what the LSU game is going to look like.
The thing about this league, as y'all know, like your focus better be on LSU. It better be on LSU week 3, right? And if your focus isn't on a Kentucky at home and you lose the game and go to the playoffs, your focus isn't on a Florida on the road, right? When you're number 5 in the country and you lose to the play, like you got to put your focus week in and week out in this league, which is what I love about this league. And then for us, the way our schedule's set up, we got Louisville, who's a top 25 team in a neutral site to open this thing up. If we're worried about anybody outside of Louisville, you better hold on. And so I think that's what I love about this league. It allows us as coaches and players. I know there's a lot of noise out there to put our focus back on what's matter, and it's the next opponent. But LSU will get our undivided attention in week 3, and they'll deserve every bit of it.
Week 3 would be September 19th when LSU will be in Oxford to take on Ole Miss. We got news, we got traffic, we got weather, we got Haggai Davis made it in studio for a cup of tech gumbo. He backed up the truck and then just floored it, jumped over the train to get here. He'll be coming up in just a little bit. Before we get you to news, though, at the bottom of the hour, let me remind you about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. FlyBTR.com is the website. If you want to do like our own in the chat, member of the glorified crew, Sonny's over there at the Baton Rouge Metro Airport this morning, waiting on that 7 a.m. flight into Reagan National. And Sonny will get to, I don't know his whole travel plans, but he can sleep in his own bed because that flight comes back home same evening. Learn more at FlyBTR.com. Morning, sir. See, the problem there is like there's no one-to-one. You got to go up one to see if it's good, then go back around and go up one to see if it's good. Yeah.
When I turned up
Aster? I hardly knew her.
You couldn't see till you get about halfway and backtrack again.
Yep.
But when you were there at Skip Burton Drive, you could see the train still there.
Right.
And so then when I got to Gurrier, there were cars coming at me, so I figured, okay, they could cross.
Yeah. So you didn't have to go all the way back to Brightside.
No. Wouldn't have been that much further.
No.
Is it still kind of raining outside? I get some rain coming in.
It feels like there's a hurricane passing.
Right. The eye.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like an eye right now.
Yeah.
Except the pressure's not low.
But it's lower than normal. And it's overcast, and you see the clouds swirling by.
Yeah. I can feel barometric pressure. So.
No, it felt.
Oh, you could feel it.
Like, yeah.
It just feels different outside. So your bones ache when the pressure drops or it changes. Like
No, my bones ache in temperature.
Mine ache after sports.
Just all day, huh?
After basketball, my knees hurt really bad.
I'm having muscular problems right now, and it's limited to just my right quad. And I'm wondering if I pulled something. So I pulled a muscle in my back over a week ago, right? I behaved myself and stayed away from the gym for like 4 days. No, I didn't. Monday, Tuesday, I stayed away from the gym. Wednesday, I walked, and then Thursday, I was back in the gym. So 3 days away from the gym. But I was slow going once I got back in. Like, just did machines, didn't do any heavy stuff, blah, blah, blah. And here I am, like, still, I can't, it's the weirdest thing. If I move, normal movement is fine. But, like, when I first stand up, it's shooting pain. I'm starting to wonder if I pulled a quad. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, doing the machines, running down the basketball court, and then going out in the pool, and walking in the pool, swimming in the pool.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I should probably. So, and we're members of Terra Pool, so I should probably go swim or something. We're gonna be out of town this weekend though, but we will be at a hotel that will have a pool. So, Gulf Shores. Well, I believe we're staying closer to Foley. We're going to a basketball tournament that is all over South Alabama. So, yeah, I'm fired up and not fired up. It's like we're going to Gulf Shores, but we won't see the beach. You know? Yeah. Last one of the season. Freshman. And she made the team. Yeah. Yep, she made the team. She will be an SJA red sticker. I don't know if she's probably gonna be JV, but clearly, superior genetics at play. That's inherited game. That's yeah. Right. James is getting there. He's a slow burn, but he's getting there. He's enjoying the sport thoroughly, but like he doesn't have that competitive edge that like Carrie. It took a while for her to find it, and we didn't take training seriously enough, like outside training seriously enough. We had just no idea that you had to have a personal trainer in the 5th grade, right? Or else Carrie would have gone really far in basketball. We screwed her up. So we corrected with Abby, got her the attention and training she needed earlier, and because Carrie had like a more natural, she's just a natural outside shooter, beautiful shot. But like when she played soccer, she would just run near the ball. Abby attacks everything, so she's a lot more feral in a good way. Yeah.
It was a good time. It was a good time at the beach. Last year, one of my twins got stung by a jellyfish. No jellyfish stings this year, so that was a win. And there was only one day where it really just stormed, but it was beautiful. The sun. Yeah, it was a good little time. I got a tan, and now I'm starting to feel. So I keep. Yeah, they had a good time. And then we went to like a little area where they could what am I trying to say? Zip line. And so that was fun, and they really enjoyed it. You can tell they were scared to do it, but they did it.
637 Talk 1073 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. I'm still behind on the housekeeping and whatnot. I need to give a shout out to the Children's Advocacy Center for having a handful of us from Guarantee Media out last night for their celebrity waiter event. It was, I don't have a total number on how much they raised last night, and I know I was nowhere close to winning the overall competition because I was hustling up tips all night. Can I fetch a drink? Can I get this? Can I do that? I don't know how much was raised overall. I don't know who the overall winner was, but I do know that everybody got together over at L'Auberge and did a fantastic job. I mean, it's such a cool event and such a wonderful, wonderful cause for the Children's Advocacy Center. I'm really, really hoping they invite me back out again next year, because every year that I go out there to do it, you just get to meet some of the best people around who are working towards one of the best goals around, and that's making sure that someone's speaking up for the children that absolutely need it. So thanks again to them for having us out last night at L'Auberge. Appreciate that. Before we get you to a cup of tech gumbo, let me remind you about the folks over at ExxonMobil who have been a part of Louisiana for more than 115 years, employing generations, and I mean generations of folks here in the state, specifically in the city. And they've done so here in Baton Rouge by leading with safety and investing in the people who live here. Today, that work continues, and it continues through newer solutions for competing in a global market, and those solutions include carbon capture and storage. Those things will help support local jobs and open doors for what's coming next. If you want to know how they're doing it, if you want to know how they're taking 115 years worth of experience and folding it into the future, visit aboutlaccs.com. aboutlaccs.com. Time for a cup of tech gumbo. Let's go. Haggai Davis in the house for a cup of tech gumbo. Appreciate the hustle, man.
I was riding the rails.
That's
like an old Willie Nelson song or something.
That's so. Did you jump over the train, or was there an opening in it and you jumped through it Dukes of Hazzard style?
Dukes of Hazzard, right through the boxcars.
Right.
Watching the hobos on either side of us. I went through. Absolutely.
Gotta love
it.
A
bunch of them up.
Well, that's just the nature of the beast, man.
Oh yeah.
They needed to get up.
It's amazing what you can get an F-150 through.
So the big old train. I appreciate you getting here this morning, because we got a lot to cover. I want to start off with something that I don't know that we've ever talked about on this in this segment, and that is it's giving in conjunction with something we have. But when was the last time we talked about the old governor's mansion?
This is a cool event that the old governor's mansion is hosting with the LSU College of Engineering.
Mm-hmm.
They're the thing is called Retro to Robots,
right?
And they're going to be out. It's the free day at the old governor's mansion. It's August 2nd,
first Sunday of the month.
Sunday of the month, 12 to 4. And you're going to be able to play with some mini construction equipment. You're going to be able to build some and play with it. There's going to be a quadruped and a rover that you can play around with, and just really get to experience, using robots. And look, robots are going to be a big part of the future going forward. So learn the technology. When you say quadruped, you're basically saying robot dog. Something like that. Yeah. Which those things look so freaky. Because no matter how good, they won't pee on your rug. Well, that's also true. That is also true. But no matter how good the programming is, the fluidity of motion of a quadruped is never going to look as good as natural. There's going to be a bunch of VR equipment that you can
Nice.
walk through the whole facility with, and yeah, it's going to be a real good event.
So you'll also tour the mansion with a robot. I think that's pretty cool because our old governor's mansion is a phenomenal place.
It's an amazing place. I love going there.
Yeah.
You can go to the website laogm.org, or you can call 225-342-9778.
Yeah, it's so underrated because, like, number one, it's off the river, right?
Right.
And anybody's going down for First Sundays, they'll stop by the Arts and Science Museum. They'll stop by the old Capitol. Nobody ever thinks go up North Boulevard. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. They get a fair chunk, but like it's like 3 blocks away from where everybody else is at.
Absolutely, and it's so rich in history. There's so many awesome things to see in there. It's a great facility. Love being over there.
Yeah, really should be celebrated more frequently. That's not to take away from the old Capitol.
Oh no,
The old state Capitol is phenomenal.
There's a lot of history here in a lot of different parts of town to go see. Go see it all. Don't Yes.
Did you get to go see the Louisiana Purchase when it was here?
No, I didn't.
See, we made it a point. The Friday before it left,
I heard y'all talking about it and how it was underwhelming.
It was underwhelming.
But I mean, yeah, even going to the old state capitol is really cool thing.
I mean, yeah, it's like, yes, and it's underwhelming, and like it
looks like a piece of paper.
Looked like an 8.5 by 14, like it was ripped off of a legal pad. But at the same time, though, you're looking at it and you're like, man, Napoleon Bonaparte signed this thing sitting in the bathtub. That's a rumor. I don't know if that's true or not. As a legend, it's really urban legend, right?
Okay.
So, in his tiny little bathtub
with his tiny little hands.
We can make short jokes this far down, right? It's fine. So, all right, cool event coming up on August 2nd, to be sure. Do I need to do I just throw this out there? Where do you want to go? I know where I want to go next. Where do you want to go next?
That's up to you.
Can we talk about pervert glasses?
Yes. The Meta glasses. This is getting such a bad backlash.
Meta camera-equipped AI glasses are so divisive that some adopters are now leaving their expensive smart glasses at home. Influencers, mostly men, have been using the glasses to inconspicuously and non-consensually capture footage of themselves approaching women and attempting to hit on them. Interactions that are then posted online for content. And this is...
We talked about this several weeks back.
We did.
And, over there in Europe, some of these creepy dudes are using these glasses to teach other guys how to hit on women, and there's been workarounds to make the Meta glasses, because they're supposed to have a little red LED light that when it's recording, that light shines. So you're being recorded.
Right.
But you can go work around and you can disable that light. And Meta has done a really poor job of trying to update that. Supposedly they put out a patch that corrects that, but now there are more workarounds to disable that light again. And so people are just really feeling bad about wearing their Meta glasses now. And so they're leaving them home because they don't want to be accused of being a creepy pervert with these glasses.
It's not just creepy pervert. It's just creepy everything. And it's unnecessary. And there's only like a handful of states. There's like a dozen states out of all 50. There's only like a dozen that have two-party consent to be recorded. So you can complain all day long about being recorded without your permission. It doesn't matter. If the person recording knows it's recording, like we have single-party consent here in the state, and they tried to pass a law last legislative session that got shot down to create two-party consent. And I don't understand why two-party consent is a bad thing. Because otherwise you're just trying to do something to somebody on the sly. You are up to something nefarious if you're trying to record somebody without their permission or knowledge.
So do I have to have your permission when you walk up to my Ring doorbell?
Different scenario because I'm on your property though. I'm talking about just on a pub.
But if you drove past my house and on the street and my Ring doorbell's looking out at the street.
It's a good question. It's a good question because it's a different scenario, but it would fall in the same law.
If you're walking down the street and I've got these creepy glasses on, do I have to have your permission to record if we're walking down the street in a public venue?
Your Ring doorbell is capturing what's there. The glasses are any other type of recording is targeting someone individually, targeting someone specifically. There will be interaction.
I'm just walking down the street, looking at the buildings and the architecture, and I glance down, and boom, there you are.
Yeah, and then if we have an interaction back and forth,
but if we don't,
that would change the matter.
If we don't even have an interaction, if I just record you because I'm looking at you.
Yeah, no. It's. I tell you what, let's push pause right there because we got a break coming up. That's where we're going to pick it up. Cup of Tech Gumbo continues next.
And this is the intersection of where Franz.
Yeah. So, yes, you're right, but there's not interaction there. If there is interaction, that changes it.
That's right. If I stop and say, by the way, excuse me, do you know where is such and such? Just asking a question of you. Now I've stopped you and I'm recording you because I'm
at that point, you should get consent from somebody. At that point, because they're no longer just background noise. They're now the focus of the recording. Even if it is a Ring doorbell, once they're engaged and you're not just driving by, once they're engaged, they're the focus of the recording.
But so I need a sign that says you walk up, you're being recorded by my Ring doorbell.
No, if you're asking the question.
No, but
that's what I said. That's where for me, that's where it would change.
Okay.
Is once they're engaged once they become a character and not an extra.
Okay, so they come up to the doorbell and I'd say, "Who are you?"
Right.
Now there needs a sign that says, "I'm recording you because you're on my Ring doorbell."
Well, at that point, they're on your property.
Right.
They're no longer on public property.
Right. But I mean, okay. So because they're on my property, I can record them all I want.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. But recording people on the sly it's
horrible.
There's got to be a way around the technicalities between the differences, but there's a huge flipping difference between the two.
Well,
ask Ted James.
This is really it has the potential to destroy this entire industry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, millions and millions of these glasses are being sold, and not just by Meta. Samsung's got them. Everybody, all these different companies. Everybody makes sunglasses is making these glasses now, and everybody's being recorded by them.
Right.
And if it just gets to be so bad, oh, you got the pervert glasses on, and oh, sorry, no, not anymore. This could really kill a multi-million-dollar operation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because of some creepy bastards. These guys are all morons.
No.
Oh yeah, we are. It's a genetic flaw. We're all morons. Well, we're all still 8 years old. Inside.
Good morning, Christy.
Right.
Welcome in, Bill.
Kids for life.
Yep. You want to go to the garbage trucks next, or where do you want to go?
Well, I mean, we'll pick back up where we left off with
the cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sanella sent me the thing about the governor's mansion. Hey, would you talk about this? Like, yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I should probably drop it in Rotary. No, I don't have Rotary News next week.
Oh,
when we're offsite, I don't do it.
Oh, really? Not even at the. Too much. They want to get the coach. Don't want to take up any more.
Yep. For any of the ones at LSU, I haven't done them. When we went offsite for Jeff Landry, I didn't do it. I don't think I did it when we went offsite for Mayor Edwards. I don't remember. But yeah, anything offsite, it's just get to the program.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll be at the Rotary office at lunch doing the member orientation today.
Nice. Anyone I know?
Nick Moore. He's
Oh,
one of the
nice.
ones coming
Very nice.
amongst. I think there's 5 or 6 going to be there. That's one of my favorite things to do.
.652 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Cup of Tech Gumbo with Haggai Davis rolling right along. By the way, you get your full serving of Tech Gumbo Saturdays and Sundays right here on Talk 107.3 FM. And of course, everywhere you get your podcasts on demand, they're on basically all the platforms. Diving back in, Haggai, you could agree that, like, while we might not know the definitive line between a Ring doorbell and I believe a definitive line can be created for legal purposes. But when you're going out of your way to record someone individually, that's different than recording just your front door. When you go from being an extra to being a character in the film, you know,
Yeah, that's probably a good way of looking at it. Yeah,
it's what was the old quote about pornography. I might not be able to define it, but I know it when I see it. Yeah. There's the same. It would be similar here. I don't know if I could define it, but I definitely know it when I see it. If you're recording someone to get them, just ask Ted James. If you're recording someone without their knowledge, or in order to trap them in saying something that they will regret later on, or to catch them doing something that can be taken out of context to play against them later on, you're up to no good. You are now the bad guy.
and these glasses are just getting more and more guys, and it's mostly guys who are wearing them, and
because it's mostly guys that are into tech. I mean, I'm not trying to be sexist about that, but
right.
By and large, when you have new tech nerd stuff come out, guys are the tech nerds.
Because guys are morons. We were just talking about that in the break. I mean, we're morons. We like stupid things like that, and women have more class and taste than we do, so they're not going to wear something that looks as awkward as these Meta glasses.
Right.
They're into fashion. We're morons. We don't think about things like that.
I don't know why being into tech instead of being into fashion makes it moronic. I don't.
Well, guys are morons in general. I mean, we're all 8 years old and we just never outgrown it, except our bodies are bigger now.
Yeah. But we can hammer out the legalities some other time. To me, it's going to be the unintended consequences of this are going to ruin it.
But they're not going, the technology is not going to go away. That's the problem.
No, but so the flip side of that then becomes it will ruin society. Because at a certain point, you're going to stop being neighborly. If someone approaches you and how, I don't know how advanced the glasses can get to where the glasses that I'm wearing and the glasses that you're wearing, they can get a camera in there. So at a certain point, you're going to say, I'm just not going to talk to people.
It's fascinating you say that, because we didn't get to, there's a story in the news this week in China. They are banning these chatbots that you can become really intimate with, because the birth rate is dropping dramatically in China because people are not interacting with other people, and there's not having an opportunity to make babies anymore in China as much. And so because we're not interacting, technology is really dividing and separating people across, and it's happening around the world.
Yeah.
We're spending more time with our technology and less time with other people.
Right.
And so it's a really awkward time to be in that, I don't know, 18 to 30-year-old when you're dating kind of thing, looking for a partner in life, and you're spending more time looking at a screen than looking at that significant other.
I was listening to Business Wars podcast day before yesterday, and yesterday, and there was a commercial for another podcast about a woman having a relationship with AI, but the AI understood how they knew each other in a previous life. It was, and I'm not going to listen to the whole podcast. I was just listening to a commercial for it, but like, as disturbingly fascinating as that sounded, it's like, or is this where we are now?
It really is, and that's the unfortunate thing about we've become so dependent upon our technology that we're not dependent upon one another anymore.
Mhm.
The human interaction is weakening,
Mhm.
and people don't know how to talk to other people anymore.
Yeah.
But they know how to send a text. They know how to chat online, and they're much more emboldened to do things online because there's less repercussions as opposed to saying something to somebody's face.
Keyboard warriors. I know.
And
So-
you know, it that's disappointing.
Yeah. What else is disappointing is when your garbage truck narcs on you.
Yes, this is a growing trend. There was a city in Florida who was looking at putting AI cameras on the garbage trucks, not just to look at what you were dumping out of your garbage can into the big garbage truck to see if you were putting motor oils and things like that shouldn't be going into landfills, but also taking pictures of your house to see if you've got blighted property, if you've got paint peeling off your house.
Grass is too tall.
Grass is too tall. And so this town in Florida, they backed Cape Coral, they backed off from it, but there's several towns in California that have already started this. And again, you've got a garbage truck. It looks at every house in town as it rides around. If you have a whole fleet of garbage trucks, they're looking at every house. They're taking pictures. And if you don't live up to the standards, the garbage truck's going to tell on you.
I find this interesting that it's on a citywide level because this is some HOA BS right here. This is some. Oh, yes, this is some
blighted properties an HOA thing.
No. He's got a '78 Camaro up on blocks. That's not a blighted property. That's just something that's not visually appealing that the Karen who runs your HOA is going to have a problem with.
But in Baton Rouge, if you parked on the curb, you get a ticket for that.
No, totally.
And so, here's a camera says, "Oh, look, there's that."
I get the emails every day. As the chairman of the Sherwood Forest Crime Commission, I get the emails every day with every parking violation within the subdivision, within all the filings. So yeah, I know full well that it is a ticketable violation, but you're not going to see on a regular basis citywide that being pursued, because if that's what we're going after as a city police department, that is a serious level of misprioritization.
My son did get a ticket like that though once.
What happens?
He hadn't done it since, but
what happens? There's tons of them.
Oh yeah,
it's so many tickets. It's hard to believe that they need more money. And I hate policing for profit. So
like Golden Meadow,
that's
or Cross Springs, or pick your speed trap.
Thank God for Billy's, or I wouldn't have been slowing down. Last thing before we get out of here, and that is, like, while this is being rolled back in Florida, like you said, it hasn't been rolled back in California.
Correct.
So the likelihood that they find their way to make this more of a thing.
Well, like we said, they're putting cameras on everything and they're recording everything. And, what are they doing with all this footage, with all this data? That's the question I want to know.
Right.
If you're keeping snapshots or rolling
I'm sorry,
video.
we gotta go. Okay. I'm getting this. Saturday and Sunday right here on Talk 107.3 FM is when you get. Sorry, we just got cut off. The recordings are out of hand. They are, because the next step beyond the Meta glasses is putting your Meta glasses back in. When you bring up the Ring doorbell, it's a good example. Connecting your Meta glasses back to the real-time crime center, which, if I'm just walking around and I'm seeing people on the street and they're, once again, extras and not main characters, that's one thing.
But then the facial recognition software running, and if all of a sudden your glasses recognize
the remarkably inaccurate facial recognition software, now you can get arrested for something you did. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
huge problem.
So I'm walking around and all of a sudden my glasses see somebody they think they recognize, and they're letting Crimestoppers know.
Right.
And so that's not a good thing.
Right. So and I don't believe in the last 3 years I've even heard the word Orwellian, because now we're literally there.
Oh yeah. 1984 is now 2026.
I know. Like we're literally there.
We're in the middle of it.
Yeah. I need to go back and reread that book. It's been since high school.
Yeah, it's been literally the 70s since I read that book. But I don't know if I really want to. It's probably too damn scary to see. It's kind of like watching the Star Trek and the original Star Trek, and where the things that are coming true now from
Right. Well, and meanwhile, like, how far away are we from the Jetsons flying cars?
not as far as one would think.
I know. But will they sound like?
Will it sound like a bubble machine popping out the back?
Mm-hmm. Hey, I saw my first Amazon drone this week.
Did you?
Yeah, flew right over the house. And I will say this: I didn't mind. I had concerns built in with, shooting something out of the sky, blah blah blah. They haul ass. They're hauling ass.
They're doing up to 50 miles an hour.
Yeah. So it's not the disturb. I mean, they make noise. You can't hear them from inside, but if you're outside, you'll hear them. Sound like a weed whacker. But zip right by and drop off package, zip right back.
Yeah,
and I mean, like that.
I think we're too far out. We're just, like I said,
Yeah.
There you go, 7.5 miles, and we're 7.7. So I don't think we're going to get them anytime soon.
Well,
maybe the next generation of drones will get to me. But
it's no, it was cool with the blue and gray, and you clearly see it's clearly Amazon.
Is it 6 blades or 4, or could you tell?
It's 4. It looked like 4 because it had a square frame around it. It didn't look like it was big enough to have more blades in between.
Okay.
So
the MK30, I remember that's the model number of the drone, but
somebody changed the channel in here, and I don't know where the remote. Like, is that the right remote for it? I don't know how to change it back.
This is this one.
For this TV?
Yeah. See if that one's the one.
And then once I put it back on the channel it's supposed to be on, I'm throwing this remote away. It just you have no reason to touch anything in here. I don't know.
I was about to say it was a Wednesday.
Well, you saw your board was completely different when you walked in. You had to.
Yeah. Go fishing wasn't here last night, were they? The light was off. There was some shit. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have my time, temperature, and I don't think this is the right. Was it night
I
court?
got video of that. Yo.
It's Barney Miller.
oh well. Yeah, Barney Miller.
I got video of you and Haggai just staring.
You can post that video with a caption that says, "Don't mess with my shit."
I'm a asterisk. Don't mess with Brian. Please. Oh Lord.
7:05. I assume 7:05. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing. I'm sorry. I don't like behind the scenes stuff. I don't like inside jokes. So
Yeah, we got to tell it.
to share with the rest of the class. There's a TV monitor that I look at. I have the direct time, the exact time, the atomic time on my laptop. But when I'm looking at notes for a segment like Cup of Tech Gumbo, I've got my stack of notes. So I have to put the time in the background. But we have a TV monitor in here that has the exact time, the temperature,
Right.
the weather forecast, and a traffic camera on it, right? That's on the TV monitor. Well, someone came in and messed with it. So I don't have the TV monitor on right now. So when I look up to see what time it is, which is why we ran out of time in the last segment, when I look up to see what time it is, I'm looking at Barney Miller. First of all, I didn't know Barney Miller still came on TV at all.
Like Bob Ross or something.
When was IMDb.com? When was Barney Miller out? Like, I don't need to look up and see Abe Vigoda's fish. That's Barney Miller. Let's see. Barney Miller
jet.
was 1975 to 1982. This show has not been on the air in 40 years.
But
And
yet
I
it's
look up, and that's what I'm looking at. I look up at my TV, my monitor in here, hoping to find the time, hoping to find the right temperature. And instead of the right time, I look up and I see Hal Linden. I don't need to see Hal Linden on a Thursday morning.
I need to see my news, weather, time.
Right. So, by the way, that has nothing to do with 180 Pros. I need the folks from 180 Pros to take my remote control and throw it out the window once I find the right station again. I don't know where to put it back. I don't know how to get the TV back to where it was.
Maybe we have to call them.
Does this sound? Am I sounding like a diva right now? Is this too?
No. But I did take video of Brian Haldane, and I will post it to Todd's Facebook. And he said, caption it, don't touch my bleep.
Please don't. It's the thing is, in this building, there are beautiful monitors. We have monitors everywhere. The one over my left shoulder here.
It's massive.
If you want to change channels, do it anywhere else. Because they're like, this is a tiny monitor. This is what, a 19-inch screen here versus 80, 85.
You know what I've noticed?
What?
Every other radio station, nobody touches their stuff. Nobody moves the cheese. For whatever reason, people move cheese and talk 107.3.
Well, no, so there is one other one, okay? Someone met, the 104.5 video studio up on the third floor.
Yep.
Someone changed the channel on the one they have the monitor outside so that guests are waiting to see what's going on inside.
Barney Miller was on that one?
No, Baywatch. And not the new Baywatch with Livy Dunn. Old school Baywatch with the Hoff.
Dang.
So, and I didn't know how to turn down the volume. I got like Baywatch because my office is right across the hall from there.
Right.
So.
Oh, the joys of radio.
I know. Nobody cares either. That's the thing. It's we just wasted 3 minutes.
No, but we're relatable because people going to work this morning.
Nothing about Barney Miller.
No.
Somebody's Googling right now. Who the hell is Detective Fish?
Do you know how many people work in an office where somebody touches their bleep?
Oh, yeah.
It's so relatable.
I get that. But, everybody's got their own problems. They don't need ours. All right. Top stories and trending. Let's get it. The Kingfish are back. Baton Rouge's new Federal Prospects Hockey League, minor league hockey club, is adopting the name that used to be here when we had a hockey team in the late 90s, early 2000s. The Kingfish season will open in October. A $500,000 bond was set Wednesday for Thomas Morris, a West Feliciana parish man whom deputies arrested in a kidnapping and say might be connected to the disappearance of 2 capital area women. But here's the thing. There might be more. There might be a lot more. Woody Overton, host of the Real Life Real Crime podcast, says based off of tips from his listeners, Morris could be connected to a lot more cases than that. LED Secretary Susan Bourgeois was the guest and speaker at the Rotary Club yesterday. In her talk, she recapped the $150 billion in investments that the state has seen in her time in the role. But she also noted what's next. And here's what's coming, y'all. Right now, LED is working on 190 active projects with a $206 billion value being worked. The charges have been thrown out, but the saga isn't over. After her indictment in New Orleans disappeared, Attorney General Liz Murrell said she's committed to finding out who ordered an Orleans Parish grand jury to investigate her. She put out a few statements on the matter. We'll cover those at the end of this hour, like the 7:55 segment, because there's more to this than what you actually think. Tropical Storm Bertha remains Tropical Storm Bertha. 7 o'clock numbers are out. Maximum sustained winds, 45 miles per hour. She has picked up speed, moving westward at 13 miles per hour right now. She is hugging the Louisiana coast. Should be to the Texas state line tonight, and then on into Texas, where she'll downgrade back to a post-depression later on. What you got, Breland?
By a vote of 216 to 214, the House late Wednesday adopted a sweeping budget resolution for a $95 billion package to provide funding for defense and intelligence, foreign aid, and components of the elections overhaul effort, the Save America Act.
So, and this is as close as we're going to get on Save America, provided this thing continues to move forward. I'm a fan. I like the fact that we got a $95 billion package approved. That being said, though, I don't like the nature of having to hustle every quarter, you know?
Right. Down to the wire.
Right.
Down to the wire.
I'm glad we didn't take till the 11th hour, and I'm really glad we didn't see another shutdown, because those cost more money.
Yeah.
So, so the bill now heads to the Senate, where Majority Leader John Thune has indicated he does not plan to hold a vote on the resolution anytime soon. And I believe they have a 5-week recess starting Monday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Red Fiber has entered into a multi-year partnership with the LSU Athletic Department, becoming the exclusive internet partner ahead of the 2026 football season.
Love me some Rev. Do love me some Rev. That's awesome. And to see just the meteoric growth of this company in who they service and what they can do. They're just a true testament to the capabilities of what we can do in our own backyard. You know? Just think, it wasn't that long ago they were ETEL.
Yeah.
You know? And now they're swimming in waters that really, I'm not gonna say unheard of, but it is worth remarking on.
When you can have a partnership with LSU, that's huge.
Yeah.
So
it's a huge investment.
Yes. All right. We've got a shark alligator roll story for you this morning. The city of Harpswell, Maine will fly shark warning flags at its beaches all summer, doing away with a policy that took the flags down within 24 hours of each sighting. This is due to the just enormous amount of sightings this year with sharks.
So not just that, but you got to rewind the clock by 6 years. 6 years ago, a 63-year-old woman was fatally attacked. It was a great white shark attacked a 63-year-old woman while she was swimming off Harpswell. That was the first fatal attack in the town's history, or in Maine's history, in the state's history. So they made the official change last week, because every time someone goes out, and these aren't like lifeguard protected beaches. The flag is your only protection.
Oh, wow.
So if there's wind, if there's, if the water's, if there's wind problems, current problems, your flags are your only protection. And it seems that like every time they take down the shark flags, they're right back up again. So leave them up all summer long. 714 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Before we take our next break, I want to remind you about the folks over at Mathern's, downtown on 3rd Street, Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center, Highland Road, just west of Kenilworth. School's going to be back in just a couple weeks, y'all, which means if your kids are returning to LSU, get them the jumpstart over at Mathern's. It's a full-service grocery store right there on campus. If your kids are moving back into the dorms, if your kids are moving back into an apartment near campus, this is where they need to go. This is where they need to be. And if they download the Mathern's Rewards app, they could be earning cash towards more groceries every time they shop. I know. We're talking about saving you money, saving them money. And just by buying the groceries they were going to be buying anyway. Download the Mathern's Rewards app today. It's good at all 3 locations, but if school is right around the corner, it's especially of importance with Mathern's. Come on in, man. I'm good. How are you? I don't know where what the hell is this? I mean, I don't want to call it's not the engineer's job to find my weather monitor. Who the hell is that? Do what? I got nothing against Barney Miller. I'm a Hal Linden fan. But I'm not like that.
He's like nothing new. He's like old school, yeah. And the value's like to an 80, you know.
I'm in my office. I'm trying to like do show prep, and all I can hear is Pam Anderson. He's not responding.
across the screen.
Yeah. Well,
I'm running in slow-mo.
and you don't realize how bad the music was on that
Oh, yeah.
show
Oh yeah.
until you can only hear it and not see it.
Yeah. You know,
All right. I don't think I'm going to
I watch those old shows. It's just amazing how the format of television has changed so significantly.
Yeah.
So significantly.
Yeah. Well, that's, Dick Wolf, man.
Yeah.
That's what do they call them? Procedurals?
Mhm.
Procedural dramas?
Yep.
All right, I give up. I'm not gonna have it.
Where's your little clock? Does that still work? Or-
No, that's off by like 4 minutes.
Matches up with my watch.
Does it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
7:17:05. 7:16.
16, but
Yeah. That's all. That's ahead by 11 seconds. That's 11 seconds fast. That's the closest it's ever been. (7:17) Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We are just a few weeks away from school getting back in. I'm declaring this the shortest summer ever. I don't know if like literally this is the shortest summer vacation ever, but it just feels like it. Joining us now, we got Patrick Martin from the EBR School Board and with us. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great this morning. Thank you.
Not glad to have you in because we got a number of well, let's start off with leap scores. Those look good.
We're looking
better,
good.
I should say.
Better, correct. That's the theme this week for me is that, look, we've made some great progress. We're doing the things that we need to do to move in the right direction, but we've got a lot more ground to cover to make it where we need to be.
What were your takeaways when looking at the scores?
I think that look, we've been investing in early childhood literacy. We're seeing positive movement on that front. We've got we had higher reading scores than we've ever had before in K through 3. So yeah, my takeaway is we're moving the hard decisions we've been making are starting to pay off, but we've still got a long way to go.
When you talk about reading, what we're seeing here is, and this was just my takeaway statewide, not parish wide. But we saw increases in numeracy as the emphasis on numeracy came around without a corresponding drop off on literacy because that's already been embedded.
That's correct.
So now what we're looking at now is each year the grade level goes up one.
Correct.
To backtrack to where we started with a greater emphasis on both.
That's correct. Absolutely. The state's doing great. We are 32nd now in the country. Everybody 6 months ago, I started working on a speech and I was going to get put in a line. We're always fighting with Mississippi for last place and all that. And I looked at the numbers like, whoa, that's not where we are anymore.
Right.
We're like right in the middle of the pack. As a state, we're doing tremendously well there. We're the only state in the country that has exceeded where we were pre-COVID.
Right.
Only state in the country.
Which so that always begs the question, did we get better or did everyone else get worse?
A little bit of both.
Yeah. No, but it is. We had a lot of ground to make up. But at the same time, though, we were able to hit, shift into fifth gear.
Correct.
And pick up some speed. So that's a good thing on both fronts. What needs work in EBR?
Our poorest performing schools still need some real work, and we're making some great stuff. Superintendent Cole is piloting this year something called our Student First Network, where it's a really intense look. It's starting at Capitol High and Glen Oaks High, where we have 2 professionals in every classroom doing something really interesting, Brian, which is, traditionally, if you've got a kid who's struggling in school, right, and you pull them out for an intervention, well, that kid's going to some teacher he doesn't know, doesn't have a relationship or anything like that. Well, we're doing this, and that's just going to make that doesn't help that kid as much. So what we're doing now is we're flipping that script. And so the kids who are doing well, who are ready, they're mastering, they're ready to go on, they're going to get pulled out to do advanced work. The kids that are struggling are going to stay with the teacher that they know and really double down to focus and learn what they've been missing out on. And we think that's going to be a really positive change.
Where has this been? Because this does so many things. You're essentially reducing class size to give emphasis where it's needed.
Correct.
rather than stymieing those who would be excelling, you're allowing those to excel by moving on to something else.
That's correct.
It's been done backwards since the beginning of time.
It has. This is the kind of innovation we're really bringing in. We're really excited. We've got later start times are kicking in some more schools this year.
Okay.
We've been starting high school historically in this state, in this city, at 7:10, 7:15 this morning. Do you want to learn algebra at 7:50? Now you get up at 4:00 for a living, right?
I do.
But everybody else, I don't function that well at this time of the day. I make a special effort just for you, but most kids, you to take a kid who woke up at like 5:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. Kids are hardwired. They go to sleep later. They wake up later. Their body starts functioning later. We've been trying to make them study algebra and English, Robert Frost at 7:15 in the morning. They can't absorb that. So we're starting high schools later and later at 8:30 or so, 8:30 to 8:50, depending on the school.
See, and this is going to be a back in my day sort of thing, but when I was in high school, we had a special thing where we had an 8-day schedule,
mm-hmm.
and then after 8 days, your first period would move to second period,
mm-hmm.
second to third, all the way through till the seventh period moved back up to first, and it would rotate. So all school year long, you were getting a different subject at a different time of day. So it kind of played into that to where we'd still be in school early, but I also went to a private school, so but like it was I took a lot from that.
Yeah.
So
well, you're not hitting the same course when you're exhausted first thing in the morning when you're not ready to go. That's not a bad approach. We'll have to think about that. What
is being done to, like, are we able to pinpoint the schools that are lagging the most?
Yeah. We got a lot of data.
So what are you able to extrapolate from that data?
A number of things. One, we with our realignment that we've embarked on in the past couple of years, we're out and out closing some of the worst performing schools. We had 2 charter schools that we terminated the charter. We've got new charter operators there.
Mm-hmm.
For the district run schools, we've got we've closed 9 schools.
Yes.
9 schools. And adjusted attendance zones and grade levels and whatnot at a bunch more schools, so that we're moving like 71% of the students affected, which is some 10,000 or so. We're moving into schools that had a higher performance score than the school that they're leaving.
What do the schools that are excelling have in common?
A couple of things. One, and look, it's a reality. Somebody reached out to me a year ago talking about Mayfair Lab. Mayfair Lab's a great school, and it is. Mayfair is a tremendous blue ribbon school. Mayfair Lab only has 26% of its students are economically disadvantaged. Mm-hmm. Show me any school in the country where only 26% of the kids qualify for free and reduced lunch, and you're going to have an A-B school no matter what. So economics still plays way too large a role than I would like it to in there. The other thing that our high performing schools really have, they have really exceptional principals and really exceptional teachers who are extraordinarily devoted to the mission, who are really focused on making kids feel safe in the school environment. A lot of kids come from environments where they don't feel safe every day, every night. And so getting their mind to shift that this is a safe place when they walk into school, they can get fed, they're not going to get physically harmed. That's a big shift. And then you layer the education in on top of that, and they're receptive when you do that.
It's baffling when you have to break it down on that level. Just that thought, right? That thought alone is, if you have to start with physical safety.
Yeah.
I mean, you when you're breaking down Maslow's hierarchy of need before walking onto an elementary school campus is just, it really is.
It's tough. One principal I talked to explained it this way. If you're just wandering about the street doing some shopping and somebody accidentally bumps into you, it's a no stress environment. It's no big deal, right? But we've all been to like Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Everybody's just packed in like sardines somewhere. Yeah. Somebody bumps into you in a bar, there could be a problem, right? Because your mind is wired to be ready for something because there's such a stressful environment. Our kids are going to school wired for this high stress environment. And one of the things that the best principals do is really help kids to say, hey, when you cross this threshold, you can unwire, you can wind down. You do not have to be in a high stress fight or flight mindset.
Amazing stuff. Okay, so now let me ask you the impossible question: is how do we divvy up resources beyond that? Because the age old question is, do the resources get fed into where the success is already happening, or do you funnel more resources into the places where it's needed more, not knowing what the outcome's going to be?
You've got to do a little bit of both, right? Part of the challenge for our poorer performing schools is not a lot of teachers want to go out there, right? They're going into bad neighborhoods and things like that. They're dealing with kids who are not, who don't have some of the advantages your kids and my kids have. And so it's a more stressful environment for the teachers. So one of the things we're doing with the Student First Network is providing data-driven incentives where we're going to give performance bonuses for teachers who data shows are driving up LEAP scores, driving up performance scores, DIBELS reading scores, things like that. And so the teachers are going to be able to make more money by doing that. We also shifted, I think this is very important, we shifted in the budget process, we shifted the salary schedules. And before, historically, the way if you want to earn more money, you wanted to kind of go through the school ranks and then get a nice central office job. Right. Mm-hmm. And that was that's where the higher salaries were. And Superintendent Cole and the board have shifted that now. So if you want to earn more money, you're going to stay in the school. That's how the salaries can be incentivized. Love so that. If you're a proven performer, you're not going to get bumped up to the cushy central office job. You're going to get rewarded by putting in a school that really needs you and get paid more money.
I mean, think of it like a professional sports franchise. Your biggest salaries are on the field.
Correct.
Not in the front office.
Absolutely. It's a great analogy.
Yeah. I mean, if you want the superstars, you that's where you pay the monies to the superstars. Correct. Love that. Did you say DIBELS?
DIBELS, DIEBELS. Yeah, that's the reading metric. The kids, particularly K through 3, take that every year. Mm-hmm. You get the results a lot faster than the LEAP test and whatnot. And that's how we really track reading performance.
So go back over the data-based bonuses, because mm-hmm. that kind of answers my impossible question, because you don't necessarily have to dedicate resources to something that isn't going to pay. You can move those resources over once it shows they pay.
Yep. That's right. So what we've got is a pay structure for this Student First Network model that basically does a couple of things. One, you get a base supplement for teaching in these schools that's weighted by how often you actually show up to work. If you want 100% of that base supplement, you can't miss more than 5 days, because we don't reward somebody who's chronically missing, right? Even with good excuses. And we understand that that's real. But we need you in that classroom teaching the kids if you're an effective teacher.
Right.
Then you've got a growth component that's weighted mostly on the teacher's value-added score, right? How are they handling these kids? We track every child, every reading score. We can measure exactly where that kid was at the end of the last year, exactly where they are at the end of this year, mm-hmm. and we can evaluate how effective that teacher was for all those kids they touched. And then there's a school-wide value-added model, right, to encourage everybody at a school to work together to improve the performance of that school.
Unbelievably cool. I love that, because you will get paid more based off of results, and it's one of those things that we've always questioned is, it was always been a chicken and egg situation,
right?
So,
no, absolutely. Then look, we're really excited. This is a concept that started when we had interim superintendent Adam Smith, and then Superintendent Cole has really taken that concept and industrialized it so we can really start scaling. This is a pilot this year at 2 of our schools, Capitol High and Glen Oaks High. But this is something we think is going to be very successful when we roll out broader.
Do we have the money to, we only got 30 seconds left. Do we have the money to grow it out as right now, or is this something we're gonna have to focus on in the future?
No, we're going to continue doing what we're doing. This with the realignment, the closing schools and whatnot. We're able to take a lot of those resources and refocus it. That's how we got the teachers a $6,000, $8,000 pay raise this year.
He is Patrick Martin with the EBR School Board. Greatly appreciate the time, sir.
Thank you very much. Anytime.
Absolutely. We got Crimestoppers coming up in just a little bit, y'all. Also, in our next hour, St. George Councilman Drew Murrell is running for Justice of the Peace. We'll talk with him. And then the mayor of Youngsville stopping by, because Little Big Town is coming to his Little Big Town. We'll talk about all that in our 8 o'clock hour. Like I said, Crimestoppers is next. Here's news. Kill the mics, please. 737 Talk 1073 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Need one quick minute to remind you about 180 Pros. 180pros.com is the website. Not your IT provider, your IT partner. Love me some 180 Pros. You know what? We had Jay Darden was in a couple weeks ago. He's another customer of 180 Pros, gave great testimonial about the level of service, about the difference between being a provider and being a partner. Sharing his personal story about how, when he needs them, he calls them and they're there. Same day response time. It's legit. If you want to give them a call, it's 225-330-2200. 225-330-2200. If you want to just check them out online to kind of peruse the website before you do anything else, that's 180pros.com. Time for Crime Stoppers. Let's go. Yes, it's time for Crime Stoppers. Yes, we welcome in Lieutenant Don Coppola. How are you?
I'm good, Brian. Good morning.
You doing all right?
I'm doing well.
You a big fan of Barney Miller?
I thought we were talking about Leave It to Beaver.
Well, no, Leave It to Beaver's on a different station.
Oh, you just
so
okay.
For those that weren't listening at the top of the hour, I don't know what happened to my monitor. I'm getting old school television shows fed in this morning instead of the correct time and temperature. And at the beginning of the hour, it was Barney Miller.
You cannot beat the old school shows, though.
Right.
You can't.
I mean, go back and watch. Abe Vigoda was a terrible actor. Made it. All right, it's time for Crime Stoppers. What do we got going on today?
So we're going to recap last week. What a wonderful guest, Miss Tawanda Weatherspoon.
Yeah.
Was on talking about her walk.
Yeah.
I actually attended that walk.
Oh.
Despite the weather, it actually did hold up. What a great event. We talk about, for those who maybe missed last week, this was a lady who was a victim of domestic violence, actually lost her 3-year-old at the time, who of the day of the walk was his 40th birthday. So, we talk about domestic violence. We talk about how serious it is. Well, it is serious. And just to be aware of those signs. And it doesn't have to be a physical abuse. It could be mental. And a lot of times that's how it starts. But the walk was a great success. A lot of people and for a good event.
We had Nancy Ellis and District Attorney Hiller Moore in yesterday. We're talking about, there was a recent summit, if you will. We'll call it a summit.
Okay.
That was talking about pooling resources when it comes to domestic violence, because it's a multifaceted thing. It's not just your everyday crime and punishment thing. It's so multifaceted because the way just society is built out, there are reasons that women don't leave in a case of domestic violence, and then it doesn't escalate overnight. They'll be a victim, and then they'll go right back to being a victim.
Yes. And
there's reasons for that. Now there's resources out there that are available, financial or just support resources.
Right.
Or there's resources out there, but they are scattered. They're not as well known as they could be. And they're always going to be, running short when it comes to dollars. But we see far too many times where a story like last week's guest, or a story like that, it escalates. She actually left. She moved to a different state before finally allowing that person back into her life.
Right. And a lot of times these victims, and it's not just females, because there are male victims, they find themselves thinking that this is the norm.
Right.
And they separate themselves, but now all of a sudden normal is not so normal. So they go back and put themselves in that situation. And the scary part is when small children are involved, they see this and they believe that it is the norm.
Right.
And if someone isn't hollering, if someone isn't putting hands on me, well, this is not the norm, and we need to get back to that. So, utilize those resources. If you have any employees, if you have any friends, if you see any behavior changes with them, ask those hard questions, because they may need someone to go out on a limb and ask.
The Norm part of that was the most just gut-wrenching part of last week's segment.
It really was.
When I asked Tawanda why she would allow someone back into her life, she's like, that just because that's what she grew up with. She understood that was what was normal, was just taking a beating once in a while.
Taking a beating, yes.
And it just that is so heartbreaking. And how do you break that kind of just generationally built-in acceptance?
Yes. Very, very tough.
Because when you've got it on that end, when you've got it on the general acceptance end, and then the financial end, when you don't have the purse strings to leave, she did have those purse strings to leave, and yet still found her way back into the scenario.
It's a shame.
It
really is. Moving on, we're going to bring up an unsolved homicide from 1986.
Let's go.
Jonathan, Georgetown. On July 26, 1986, the body of Jonathan, Georgetown, was found inside a burnt vehicle in West Baton Rouge Parish on Rosedale Road. The sheriff's office has investigated this, but as of now, they've come up with nothing. This Sunday, July 26, it will be 40 years.
Wow.
40 years. And you know, the family members of Jonathan Georgetown, they call me on a regular basis, stay in touch with me, and they're just looking for answers, and they're looking for closure. And so if anyone out there, I know it's been a while, if you have any business or relatives or contacts in West Baton Rouge, hey, bring up Jonathan Georgetown's name. Hey, you remember 40 years ago, this guy was found, burning a vehicle. And whatever answers you have, contact Crimestoppers, 344-7867, the P3 Tips app. Again, we don't want to know who you are. We just want the information that you may have regarding this investigation or any other unsolved investigation, so we can get closure to these families.
Something that happened 40 years prior. I mean, it would probably be tough to come across information, but also, as time wears on, lips get looser.
Lips get very looser. We've talked about the first 48, the Crimestoppers, the increased rewards, because those are the most crucial hours of an investigation.
Right.
So now you're talking 40 years, but you're absolutely correct, Brian. Hey, I've maybe gotten away with this, or so whoever has gotten away with this, so lips will become looser. So just keep your ear.
The crazy thing is, Don, and tell me the likelihood of this, okay? What's the likelihood that the guilty party there went to jail for another crime and is already out again?
Well, and we've seen it before, and it could happen. And what's the likelihood of this investigation being solved after that point in time? Now,
that likelihood is low, but it's lower if no one pays attention.
Exactly. But it's not impossible.
Correct.
Because you see investigations go on year after year after year, and then all of a sudden something comes up. So we're not gonna give up hope. But we need somebody to help us and help those investigators in West Baton Rouge with this case.
What else are we looking at?
So we're looking for Gregory Harris, 36-year-old, wanted by the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office on the charges of interfering with emergency communication, battery of a dating partner, strangulation. Here's another domestic violence case.
Yep. Like I said this during the interview yesterday. I said, literally, we cannot get through a Crimestoppers segment without a domestic violence case.
We cannot.
Without a fugitive who's wanted on domestic violence charges.
It's believed that this Harris had strangled the victim, didn't allow her to call proper authorities. And with these cases, as soon as the phone is the police department number is dialed, well, all of a sudden they take off. Hey, if you're going to do this, which you don't need to be doing anyway, at least don't run when help is coming. I mean, come on now. You know. So the best thing to do is just keep your hands to yourself. If it's getting to that point, just walk away.
Right.
Come back, recircle, revisit when you're cooler.
Yeah, that would be ideal, to be sure. Anyone else?
Marvin Aguilar, wanted by the Baton Rouge Police Department on illegal possession of stolen things and theft.
What did he steal? What is he accused of stealing? Everyone's innocent until proven guilty.
This is an investigation that originated in New Orleans.
Okay.
New Orleans Police Department contacted Baton Rouge investigators regarding a stolen vehicle.
Okay.
Believe that Aguilar made his way to Baton Rouge, and items that he had in his possession that were stolen, in addition to the vehicle, were pawned at a local pawn shop.
Mm-hmm.
So investigators are looking.
See, smart. You get out of town to pawn.
You get out of town. But the other kicker is Aguilar also has two counts of failure to register as a sex offender through East Baton Rouge Parish.
Oh,
so he's batting 1,000 on this. So the best thing to do for him or anybody that has any information on Marvin Aguilar is to contact Crimestoppers, get us his information, his location, so we can assist him in handling his unfinished business.
I mean, I completely rescind my comment about that being smart. No, Marvin, if you're going to steal something in New Orleans, don't go to a city where you're already wanted to hawk everything.
I mean, what can you say?
Just go the other way. Is he wanted in Biloxi too? You find a pawn shop in Biloxi, man.
And if we learn that he's wanted on the coast, I know someone may be going to the coast this weekend. They can be on the lookout and have a P3 out.
I'll be on the lookout. I mean, we'll be on the interstate, but I'll be on the lookout.
Any names.
No. Head on a swivel with the P3 app, man. The head on a swivel with the P3 app. I've always got it ready. I haven't had to use it yet, though.
Well, at least you're ready.
I am ready.
Ahead of most.
Lieutenant Don Coppola for crime. We got 30 seconds left on, so let's just one more time. The phone number is 334-STOP, 334-STOP to get a hold of Crimestoppers. You always remain anonymous.
Exactly. P3 Tips app. You can submit pictures and videos. We don't want your information. We just want the information you have on these unsolved crimes, these wanted people. Remember, it's better to call and give us that information. If you see something, say something.
We will be back at it this time next week for another installment of Crimestoppers. We always appreciate the time, sir.
Thank you, Brian.
Here is your money now on Talk 107.3 FM. Programming note. Not next week, but the week.
Let me put that down. August.
Breland's technically right. I won't be off, but we're not doing the normal show.
All right, August 6th, no radio.
Yeah.
You know, I'm feeling it already.
Feeling what?
Just feeling the loneliness of you not being here. Emptiness. I'm gonna miss you.
Nah, you're going fishing.
You want to go fishing?
I'm going fishing next weekend.
In Gulf Shores? That's the best fishing.
This weekend.
Really? Gulf Shores have really good fishing.
Well, they have the bay. They have the golf.
No, I'm going to Grand Isle next weekend.
That'd be nice.
For the August 1st. So, but yeah.
Spear fishing or regular fishing?
Regular fishing.
I can see you spear fishing.
No.
It'd be fun.
Oh.
I think you can do it. It'd be awesome.
Like with a spear gun or like actually throwing?
Spear gun.
Yeah. That I could do.
Yeah.
Yeah. The LCA fishing rodeo is coming up that weekend. I got to go down. So
that'd be nice.
That should be fun.
All righty, I need holler.
Appreciate it.
Say something, Don.
Yeah. You like it?
Love it. See something, say something.
October 1st is the luncheon. Crimestoppers.
October
We have a
1st.
table.
I would hope. I'm sure Johnny will reach out to Gordy.
Still at the Renaissance?
At the Renaissance. Are the mics off?
$7:55, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Landmark Bank, landmarkbankla.com is the website. Landmark Bank has been a community bank since 1897. For more than half of our nation's lifetime, we've had Landmark Bank in our own backyard. If you want specific locations to know if Landmark Bank is in your community, visit landmarkbankla.com. The beauty part about a community bank is you get all the advantages, you know, from the fintech end to the resources end, for your personal banking, or if you're a small business, you get everything at your fingertips right there. But what you'll get there that you won't get from the national or multinational banks is service, is a banker, is having someone who's there who can help guide you through wherever it is you're headed in life. Whether you're talking about saving, whether you're talking about a future retirement, whether you're talking about borrowing, whether it's time to buy that forever home or downsize the home later on, they've got you covered. You can learn more at landmarkbankla.com. So the big news coming down yesterday was that the indictment of Attorney General Liz Murrell is over with. The charges were dismissed. However, Murrell's fight against the city of New Orleans is just beginning. She's vowing a full investigation into what she calls a weaponization of the criminal justice system against her. Cut 4, please.
It's not because I'm angry. It's not because any of us want to retaliate against anybody. It's because what they did can now be weaponized and used against other people.
Yes. But whether she investigates this or not, it can be used against other people again. That I think it's she's revealing a bigger issue. So soon after the grand jury handed down its indictments, Governor Landry ordered Louisiana State Police to launch an investigation. Earlier this month, Congressman Clay Higgins sent a letter to FBI Director Kash Patel requesting the FBI get involved. So this is on a big scale to find out what went behind this. The jury had indicted Murrell on 16 different charges, 8 each for public intimidation and malfeasance in connection with letters that she wrote to Helena Moreno and other elected officials. And within those letters, it was just statement of fact. If you violate the law, you can lose your job. Just statement of fact. Talking about their support of an appointment of an interim court clerk, and a special election for a permanent one. Murrell says she did nothing wrong in sending those letters. Cut 5.
They're not a crime. Read the law. You can run it through Claude, ChatGPT, Westlaw. I don't care what you do. It ain't hard to figure it out that this is not a crime. And it's been long established, clearly established in federal constitutional law.
Now, by the way, big ups to our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network for the audio, who asked Murrell whether there was any chance of the dismissal of the indictment could have been interpreted as New Orleans' way to lower the political temperature on the whole situation. Murrell did not appear to be, lowering the temperature at this point. Is that even a part of the equation? Cut 6.
That dismissal of that indictment today was not an effort to simply get us all back together to be friends again. First of all, you can't be friends with somebody who wants to put you in jail for 80 years.
So, by the way, one more from the audio. She took issue with the way the grand jury went about its proceedings, noting the information leaks before the indictment was handed down. Cut 7.
This was the leakiest ship you've ever seen. I mean, it was sinking like the Titanic. It was so leaky. There was more information that came out. All of you knew more about what was happening inside that grand jury room than I did at the time that I found out that it existed.
The crazy thing is we had her on that morning, and yeah, the leaks that were out there, it as soon as they came full to the public, that one was on me. It was a missed time segment. That one was completely on me.
Doing so good.
I'm awesome. How are you? Good. Did the door open when I hit the button? Okay. All right. So yeah, I can open that side door from my phone. Yeah. Yeah.
Come to say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
How's Libby? Good. I feel like I just saw you yesterday.
I know you did.
Ashley called me. She's like, Drew, call me back. And so I was celebrating her little win. Yeah.
Always celebrate.
Yeah.
Y'all ready for orientation?
Yeah, sure. It's my second trip around St. Joseph's, but
It's been a minute.
been a minute, and I'll probably be a little more active in it. Like last time, I didn't have a lot of time for that. School and all kinds of stuff.
Okay, let's hold each other accountable, because with Carrie, it blew by, and I went to one dad's club meeting, and that was about it. And I'm gonna be out of town for the first one. So, yeah, Spoken Hub, August 19th. I'm gonna be in New Orleans for the Louisiana Travel Association.
Well, good. We'll carve it.
Yes.
I'll come pick you up and we'll do
Yes.
stuff when you connect. So, yeah.
Oh.
Let's get a selfie, Drew, and listen to this guy.
Okay.
I'm over here. I'm gonna be like, look who stopped by.
I'm just gonna hang out.
Yeah, right. Just passing some time. Look who stopped by. So you don't live off Carolyn Street no more, huh?
We live Westminster. We lived in Westminster since '09, but we had a flood and we burned down in 2017. We had a flood in
I
2021.
remember y'all burned.
So
Okay.
there's like 2.5 years of that. We lived in a condo in Carolyn Street.
That's what it was.
That's
why I kept thinking that.
I didn't know y'all flooded.
We couldn't do it like respectable people in 2016. We had to do it in 2021 with the Ritter.
With the rain bomb?
Well, not only was it rain, in Westminster, they tied us into the sewer lift station on Essen that didn't have capacity to handle an extra neighborhood. So we were floodwater and sewer backflow at the same time.
Wow.
So wading through that was like insult to injury.
Yeah.
It's not a Snickers bar.
Shitter was full.
Yeah, literally.
American Airlines lowering its financial outlook for the year for a second time. The soaring jet fuel costs continue to climb.
I tried to suggest to Dixon a new plan for City Park, and it was Section 8 apartments projects. Tear it all down. Just walk in and pitch that, and they'll find compromise, knowing that the threat of that is real.
Love that. Love that. I think they're trying to do too much with it. Like, add the track and then back the fuck away. They're trying like so hard to spend tax dollars for no fucking reason.
Yeah, I mean, the people that are going to use that park have clearly told you they don't want to use that park for anything. They just want it to sit there and be empty.
It's not empty.
I don't know, JR Ball post all those tea times at City Park.
The tea towns are like 75% full.
I don't know. I don't give a shit. It's not my side of town. It's not a park I'm going to on purpose unless I'm playing tennis.
Which Scott told me the other day, he goes, "You're not going to play tennis." I'm like,
I know. I haven't played tennis in quite a while. It's been busy lately. And then by the time,
y'all used to go like every week at Terra.
yeah,
like
well,
a whole minute.
Valerie takes every day. And she's always playing. The problem is she's taking lessons every day now. So by the time she gets done, she's burned out. She's not ready.
Yeah, that's true.
She's done with it.
Oh, speaking of sports, Abby made it.
Yes. That's that. Well, I don't think there was a lot of doubt there, right?
No, I mean just genetic superiority was going to tell a story, but
Exactly.
you know.
Well, Adolph. Well played.
Thank you.
No, that's awesome, man. That's great. It's fun. It just, you don't want them to have disappointment right there at the beginning.
And she was so emotionally invested, you know. It stung. I didn't realize how bad it stung Carrie, but like she missed half of the summer league. Well, she missed 10 days of the summer league, the first 10 days, because she was on the Catholic leadership encounter up in Colorado. And she comes back and there's only like another week and a half, 2 weeks worth of it. And she doesn't know the offense. She's, out of shape. We didn't get her the training she needed ahead of time.
And that's the learning curve, right? The world we live in now where you can't just show up.
Right.
Play
And as someone who's played basketball my entire life.
You don't know the system? We run the triangle here at St. Joseph's.
Well,
How do you not know this?
well, no, not that. It's like not having a personal trainer for 4 years.
Look,
And like
it's kind of silly.
it is. But we didn't know enough to buy into the silly early. We bought into the silly with Abby.
But you know that soccer is a good example. Why does America suck at soccer? Because we don't let the kids play. Rich people play.
Right.
You got to be able to go to Guam for practice.
806 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Breland producing. We are starting off the 8 o'clock hour at 82 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge, on our way to 91 as we broadcast live from the 180 Pro studio. All right, St. George Councilman Drew Murrell is running for Justice of the Peace. We're going to talk with him at 8:15. Youngsville's mayor is coming by at 8:35 because the band Little Big Town is coming to his Little Big Town. We'll talk with him at 8:35 about that concert, like landing that gig and whatnot. It's kind of a big get. So we got a busy hour to get to. Let's get right to it. We start off with this day in history. All right. Anything fun happened today?
All right. A lot of pop culture today, but some major news stories. 1868, the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution is officially ratified, granting citizenship and constitutional rights to all persons born in the U.S.
Okay.
So that is a little bit of news for you. Also, civil rights news, 1962. Jackie Robinson is inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame, becoming the first African-American player to receive the honor.
Okay.
1968, pop culture. Michael Jackson and his brothers auditioned at Motown Records in, in Detroit, performing James Brown's I Got a Feeling. And guess what? They secured a recording contract as the Jackson 5.
Wait, they did?
Yes. No, they didn't. Michael Jackson
came up short. They never made it.
Right. Michael Jackson never became what he was to this day. My goodness. 1992, jumping ahead, Bruce Springsteen begins a world tour, his first with musicians other than the E Street Band.
Oh.
In 2005, another pop culture nugget for you. The Lollapalooza Music Festival abandons its original touring format and settles permanently in Chicago, headlined that year by the Pixies and Weezer.
Is Lollapalooza like Lollapalooza? Are those similar?
I don't know. Is it Lola or Lala?
It's Lala.
It's Lala. Butcher everything on this show. I love it. I love it. I just love it. Okay. I'm just going to skip through some. In 2010, remember when One Direction was just huge? Well, they were formed on X Factor in the UK after judges decided to combine 5 solo contestants into a group, and One Direction just took over after that.
I remember that. That was huge.
Yeah,
it was
huge. Massive. What else you got, Brian?
Let's see. On this day in 1984, Vanessa Williams gave up her Miss America crown.
I saw that.
Yeah.
What was the reason again? Oh,
no,
wait, no, I know
Penthouse.
the reason. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she posed in Penthouse.
All the
that was the reason.
All the
This day in 2015, NASA found an Earth-like planet. Earth's bigger, older cousin, Kepler 452 was the name of that planet because it's poorly named. And let's see, what did I have? I had 2 more. No, those were all people who died. Never mind.
Okay, birthdays.
Wait. This day in 1993, Poetic Justice premiered. So did the Coneheads.
Oh, God, Coneheads. I loved it. Birthdays. Daniel Radcliffe, born in 1989 / 1965. Marlon Wayans. Is it Wayans or Wayans? Wayans, yeah. He was born 1972. Philip Seymour Hoffman, born in 1967 on this day in history.
Yep.
Let's see. Whoa.
I got one more.
You got one? Okay.
I got one more. How many people do you know named Moon?
One. Is it Moon's birthday?
There's one other Moon. Moon Landrieu, former mayor of New Orleans, was born on this. Yep, Moon Landrieu. Mary Landrieu's dad. Born on this day in 1930.
I'm thinking Moon Griffon.
Yep.
Okay.
There's I only know of 2 moons.
1885, Ulysses S. Grant unfortunately passed away. Talking about deaths.
Okay.
That's all I got. That's notable enough.
Well, 2011, Amy Winehouse died. 2012 was Sally Ride.
I forgot about that. Okay. National Day today. There's weird ones, and I won't.
They're always weird ones.
I know, but National Gorgeous Grandma Day. That's just freaky.
No.
No, we're gonna go with. How about National Vanilla Ice Cream
That's
Day?
the one I've got. That's the one I'd be happy to roll with. By the way, we haven't reconnected with the folks from Bluebell. They were supposed to come by, and then
I was out from what I heard. And we were out
and it was
because
a
of
work,
the funeral.
Right. It was a work from home day because Senator Selder's funeral was going on. So we gave up our parking lot for overflow for them. So we just nixed everything that wasn't essential so that, as many people could attend the funeral and park conveniently as possible. But we need to reschedule that because they've got, I know it's Vanilla Ice Cream Day,
but guess
what
it
got
is?
Chocolate lava cake.
And it's so good.
I haven't had it yet.
Oh, it's delicious, but I could use a free little pint. It's delicious, Brian. You got to try it.
Okay. I'm here for it. So we need to reschedule Bluebell. We're at 811 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Let me take 1 second to remind you about Guarantee Health Solutions. Learn more about them at guaranteehealth.com. Guaranteehealth.com is the website. Their approach at Guarantee Health is built around 4 key pillars: build, attract, deliver, and measure. And I'm only going to tell you about one of them right now. Okay. Build is where you design out the infrastructure that removes friction across your digital front door, access points, and patient pathways. This is basically where you start the whole journey to make sure the front of your office is talking with the back of your office, and all parts of your office are making sure that your patient relationships are your number one priority, because you can't build more relationships unless you're taking care of the relationships you've got. If you want to learn more, visit guaranteehealth.com, guaranteehealth.com. I know.
Hello. I know. All I hear is like 8 people talking.
Ritter.
I'll pull y'all in a room and we'll do an interview with Tiger. Yeah. I love it. Radio Drew.
What do you know
He's
about-
always ready.
What do you know about Youngsville?
They're kind of a model, right? They do everything right.
Oh,
I'm-
really?
I'm not kidding. They have a sports complex. We like that.
Yes, they do.
They're well run. They're clean. They're family friendly. They do which mic's mine? Not that one.
That one.
Flag on it.
Yep.
I want the Scotty mic, Mac. Mike that's got crust on it. Which one is
Wait,
that?
Scotty Max, Mike has wrestling?
Crust on it.
That's
I like-
Scotty's line?
No. I'm just kidding.
I was. $8:15, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Give me one quick second before we get to Drew Murrell to remind you about One Bath and Closets, O-N-E, spell it out on the website, onebathandclosets.com. David Duvall and his team will bring 30 years of experience and, dare I say, expertise to the table when you call One Bath and Closets. Who needs One Bath and Closets? Well, here's the long and the short of it. Anybody who if you didn't build your own home, your bathroom wasn't built for you. If you didn't build your own home, your closets weren't built for you. They were built for somebody else. They're not built for today's convenience, today's expediency, today's efficiency. And I can speak to this because last year, Christy and I decided we were tired of our master bathroom. Called David, got him out there. We got ourselves a new master bathroom, and it is phenomenal. Went from the old school rusted out tub to a walk-in shower. We went from one vanity to two. The change in lighting has been remarkable. Every detail put into it has just been mastery. And the real difference is if you see someone else's bathroom who hasn't gotten that level of expertise, when you see like a tub pulling away from the tile, when you start to see the mold creep back in, it's such a different experience when you use David Duvall in One Bath and Closet. You can call him at 400-8005 or just visit onebathandclosets.com.
Can I derail you for a second
Go
on that?
for it.
You lived like a savage with one vanity
We did.
and a husband and a wife?
Yes, we did.
What did you brush your teeth in like the floor?
We took turns. It was brutal.
What type of cave situation were you living in?
Yeah, it was bad. But I mean, our house was built in 1964, man. We moved in like 2012 and right at the beginning of 2012. And I mean, just dealt with it for a decade, but you understand my frustration.
Y'all really do love each other.
Completely.
That's, That's commitment.
Yeah. I mean, but like, it's just once we decided it was time, called David. Well, actually, the first thing we did was we started.
I'm looking for a third vanity in my bathroom. I got a kid who won't get out of it.
Wait, then you need another bathroom altogether.
No, because you wouldn't use it. We have 4 bathrooms.
Who has a third vanity though?
We're going to.
What are you, L'Auberge Casino? Like,
That's right.
It's got a whole row,
we're
a
rolling.
row of urinals going down, or what? Oh my goodness gracious! Drew Murrell's in the house. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
You're running for justice of the peace.
I am.
Okay,
I
we
am.
need to break this down.
Okay.
First of all, I didn't realize that was an elected position.
It is.
I just thought you just signed up somewhere.
It's just a list. Put your name on the list. We'll call you when you're ready.
Right.
Yeah.
Why do you want to be justice of the peace?
Well, I think for one, it's your most accessible level of justice in Louisiana is the Justice of the Peace Court. It's the most affordable. It's the most efficient. It adjudicates your small claims without having to go to big, complicated, expensive court. It's also the court where you're most likely to represent yourself. And so there's some relaxed evidence rules for that reason. It's just a nice, easy, accessible court that everyone can get into, and it doesn't cost you $1,000 to file a suit. It doesn't take 2-3 years to litigate. It's very efficient model of a court system that I think is really underutilized, especially in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. Why is it underutilized?
I think there's just a lot of knowledge about it. It doesn't exist everywhere in Louisiana. There's only certain places that have justices of the peace. And I think from that standpoint, people just don't realize that is a place they can go if their claim is under $5,000, that they can have their matter heard in less than 30 days in some cases.
What's the difference between that and a small claims court?
There's not much difference except for small claims court in East Baton Rouge Parish only exists at Baton Rouge City Court. So if you live in the unincorporated area or St. George or Baker, Central, Zachary, you can't utilize that court. Mm-hmm. It's only for Baton Rouge City residents.
Interesting. So as far as justice, every time I hear the name the title Justice of the Peace, you think about somebody getting married.
And that is one of the
justice of the peace.
Well, it's one of the criteria, and I've done that for a long time. For about 2 decades now, I've married people. So that would also be the fun thing about the job, right?
Right.
Marrying people.
That's a whole other topic. I mean, you have experience in that in a very real way.
Yeah, I used to do about 24 a year. Love it. Love my couples. Got a pretty good track record, I think. Pretty good success rate. I believe I do.
What's your batting average here?
I mean, I don't get to talk to all of them.
As long as you're better than 500, you're better than the national
average. I
would
would say I'm at least at 65%, maybe even better.
Okay.
By the time you get to me marrying you, you've probably got it figured out. That's what I think.
Okay. We can roll with that.
Yeah.
How big of a role is the marriage in the justice of the peace? I mean, because is it compare the court versus that as an aspect of it?
In this district for justice of the peace, it's going to be a relatively small component. But it is a part of it. People have a need to get married and they don't necessarily fit into a certain box. And this is an avenue they can go to. And I like it. I have fun doing it.
Oh, who wouldn't? I mean, it's a life-changing event.
You hope
it's a day that you want to remember forever.
Yeah, that's right. You hope you're spending, you're with somebody on one of their happiest days of their life, right?
That's why I've been a wedding DJ for 30 years.
Exactly right. A fellow wedding vendor.
Right.
And so, you get people generally on their best days. And that's a lot of fun to be a small part of.
We got Drew Murrell in with us. We're going to talk about the St. George end in a little bit.
Love that.
I want to stick with justice of the peace because as you can peel back the layers of the onion of what the position is, you kind of tell like why you're running and what you want to do with the posts. So go back to the accessibility and the affordability of the court and why that's important on a bigger scale.
Well, as costs have gone up and everywhere in life, the same can be said of the court system. It's more expensive to litigate now than any time in Louisiana history. Lawyers, we're expensive. That's the reality. The court system's expensive. The time is consuming. In a lot of cases, if you have a small claim, you may be intimidated by that process and not want to go through it. It may not be worth it. You may do that evaluation. Whereas this, generally for $120 to $150, you can file a small claim in Justice of Peace Court. It's served. They've got 10 days to answer, and you can be in court in less than 30 days.
When you talked about, you said evidence rules are a little bit more lax, or there's certain rules that are a little bit more lax along the way, and you're able to make rulings more efficiently. How much of that is, just relying on common sense versus the traditional air quote lawyering?
I think there's a little bit of both. You're not going to get the procedural posturing you get in a bigger court system.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to get, hey, this is my issue. This is my problem. This is what I got. And you get to look at it and make an evaluation based on what you see and who's talking to you and what the other side has and what they're saying. And you can make that determination fairly quickly. And if somebody doesn't like it, they do have an appeal option after that.
Mm-hmm.
So there is another level of check and balance.
I mean, are we painting an image more of like, more of like an Andy Griffith episode or a Judge Judy episode?
Well, it can be what you make of it. I would like to, I'd probably like
now
to
y'all
go.
just settle this. I mean,
I think I'm more Andy Griffith than I'm going to be Judge Judy.
Okay.
I think I'm more.
Well, now he wasn't a judge, he was a sheriff, but like there was a lot of conflict resolution without needing to get overly litigious.
That's exactly right. We'd like people to resolve their issues. We'd like people to do it in a way that allows, some of the hostility we now have from the internet culture. I'd like to keep that out of the courtroom and keep it civil.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you may have a claim. Yes, you may get a judgment. And to me, that is just moving business forward. Take the other parts out of it and let's move forward.
We're talking with Drew Murrell, who is running for Justice of the Peace. You are currently on the City Council for St. George, Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem
for St. George.
District 5 City Councilman.
I said I didn't know District 5.
Yeah, there you know. District 5, like the Hunger Games.
Would you be shocked if you learned I never watched the Hunger Games the whole way through?
We're watching it repeatedly right now in my house, so that is shocking.
Okay. Yeah, I catch pieces of it if it's on TNT or something, but never the whole way through.
Subject matter is terrible.
I feel like I could get into it if I really dedicate it, but it's
that might be the concern.
Yeah, no, I mean it might be, but like it's background noise. So anyway, back to it. Currently the Mayor Pro Tem of St. George. What makes you want to make a move here?
Well, I think this is a benefit to the one I've worked.
You would obviously have to give up one to take the other.
Correct.
Okay.
So I've been working for St. George in some capacity since March of 2018. So over 8 years now. And I think as we've gotten here, we've created the city. We fought and won a legal battle. We're now taking those first steps as a city. We've got some wonderful news coming in the next 12 months, including we talked about the $19 million Safe Segan grant we got from the federal government, our first foray into grants, and we get $20 million.
We had Mary Yates on about that a couple days ago.
And that is going to dramatically transform that roadway. But in terms of me, I think we've accomplished a lot in St. George and moving us forward and creating an identity and being a city that families want to live in. I think this is another avenue because justice is important, and this covers half of the city of St. George. It's a 60 square mile district, and this is an important aspect. But not only that, it also covers unincorporated parts and parts of the city limits of Baton Rouge now. So this district has a chance to impact 3 different levels of East Baton Rouge Parish. And I do think it's important for everyone to get that same ability to access justice. So I think it's just a furtherance of my effort in St. George because it's a St. George-based district, but also allows me to impact other parts of the parish.
I mean, you talk about that Segan Lane thing. Unless it comes with driver's ed lessons, I don't know how impactful.
Well, to your point, it is. That center lane, we have a significant amount of traffic accidents in the Segan area. In a less than 2 mile radius, we may have 2,000 accidents annually on Segan.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's been ignored for a very long period of time while that data has been there is probably unacceptable. And we want to make sure that we can move that needle. We want to move them. You're never going to prevent every accident, but if we can take steps like the center lane, putting medians up and not allowing everyone to turn across 5 lanes of traffic across a suicide lane.
Yeah.
That's a step we have to take. If we can connect those parking lots and connect those businesses and give other outlets on Segan, so you're not choked on Segan all the time, that's a win. If you beautify it and families come back to it, that's important.
Well, St. George has already done a lot to beautify it by, de-panhandling it.
That's exactly right. This is a next step in the evolution of Segan Lane because we hear all the time like, oh, Segan Lane, I never go there, ...
Well, and to be fair, when we look at road improvements and building roads in Baton Rouge, building out more lanes is what's needed in most places. Segan's already got plenty of lanes.
That's exactly right.
Can't be held accountable for the people that are in the far left-hand lane or far right-hand lane and want to make a left-hand turn.
So you'll appreciate this.
And oh, by the way, Nobody should be allowed to turn onto Segan Lane from a parking lot by turning left.
That's exactly.
You
so
should not be allowed to do that.
Years ago, back in my radio days, I was doing a remote on Segan Lane, and I'm watching accident.
Circuit City?
No, Verizon.
Okay.
I'm watching wreck at Circuit City. That's not nice. I'm watching wreck after wreck after wreck, and I asked the guy at the store, I'm like, God, does this happen all the time? He goes, man, every day we count them. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
And we're going to take steps to connect Segan Lane, to take out that center lane and do something else. And like you said, with the panhandling, it's just part of making families know that they can go do their business on Segan Lane.
Well, to be fair, I'm not trying to be heartless about the panhandling. It's dangerous.
Well, no,
when you've got 7 lanes going across and people, I mean, especially by I-10, like that whole stretch from Industrialplex to I-10, like that's a lot of traffic moving at a very rapid pace when they're moving.
Well,
but it's just when you've got people walking across 7 lanes to get, and I'm not going to call out businesses, but to get from a motel to a gas station and back, like that's
what do you say? Motel to methadone clinic and back again. That's what they're doing.
Well, the motel and the methadone clinic are on the same side.
Yeah. Well, they go all over.
I mean, I'm just talking about when they.
Yeah.
So, but it's a safety concern, not just a unsightly. It's safety.
It's also a community riddled with drug addiction.
Right.
So we're sending in the Grove, and they're doing a wonderful job. Over 100 people have been taken into rehab from this program. A group of people that were completely ignored before us, and now they have an option. They may not choose it, but 100 people have. And that's 100 people who aren't going to die in the street.
We got to get back on track. We got to all say Georgie and got away from justice as a piece. When you have a position like this that probably not everybody understands, we got a minute and a half left. How do you campaign for a position that not everybody understands?
And I think that's what you're going to see from me over the next few months. Is part of it is, hey, you probably know me better than you know the position at this point.
Right.
And so half of it is, hey, this is me. This is what my thought is. This is what my vision is. The other half is, what is the justice of the peace? And you'll see a lot of that. What does it do? It does evictions. What does it do? It does small claims. What does it do? Weddings, notary work. So you want to transfer a title, it might be a faster, more efficient place to go do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a lot of components to it. You know what we do that no one else in the state does?
What?
Litter violations. The constable can write tickets for litter violations, and the justice of the peace can fine for littering. And that's something that I don't, to my knowledge, no justice of the peace has done yet. But that's something our office is going to do because we've seen it through the city of St. George. We see a need.
No, there's a need there for sure. It's just
those bandit signs that are stuck on telephone poles. I anticipate those coming to my court at some point.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, it's the same election day as everybody else, correct?
We're November 3rd. Early voting's October 20th through the 27th.
He is Drew Murrell, running for justice of the peace. Always appreciate the time.
Thank you, brother.
We got we're at 8:30 right now at Talk 107.3 FM. We're going to check news, we'll check traffic, we'll check weather. On the backside, the mayor of Youngsville going to be in the house. Why? Because Little Big Town's coming to his Little Big Town. Well, tell again.
Youngsville is killing it.
We'll talk about that too next. I don't think we have a Foodie Friday tomorrow. Like nobody.
And we told Ellen.
If we keep doing it right in our big municipalities,
Yes.
I don't know.
That
Just last minute.
that's it.
But I know. So I'm. If I'm gonna be out on August 7th,
We get to do it from zero, and that's
then
a lot of fun.
I know. And
then there won't be a Foodie Friday that day.
and I told
Unless
Ross,
if the
yeah.
Sadvik can't do it that day, I'm gonna see if Dixon can because I know he'll bring in somebody who's eating great in 68.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Let me reach out to Hightower
With Citigroup. Okay.
for Planet Drew.
Well, he's not with Citigroup anymore, but yes.
No, but he still runs Restaurant Week, so
Yeah.
right there. Yeah.
And see who
Perfect.
we pulled last Monday, yeah.
Because give me somebody from Restaurant Week to come in tomorrow.
That's a good idea.
Thank y'all for the hospitality. This is awesome.
course.
Yeah, what a great studio too. How cool is
thank you.
this?
So that's normally on that monitor is like weather and it's like a weather radar
Okay,
and
all right.
the right temperature and time and all that. I walked in this morning. Somebody came to the studio last night and started jacking with everything.
Oh, you're kidding.
Like her screens were all
Okay.
off. I had Barney
Yeah.
Miller. Barney, I don't know how do you
come
find
on.
Barney
What?
Miller on TV these days.
So what's the weather? Sunny and 70
Well-
for the rest of the day?
Right. Yeah, because I can't get to it. And it's not like there's not a tropical storm rolling through.
It actually, we drove through the basin and it was kind of like just misty and cloudy. And then we hit a certain point and it's like literally sunshine. And
Yeah.
so I'm thinking it's past.
Well, yeah.
I'm thinking we drove right through it.
837 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Big pivot here. Going to welcome in Ken Ritter. He is the mayor of Youngsville. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Brian.
Not glad to have you on. I appreciate you driving in.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about just a second ago. Driving in the middle of a tropical storm.
Well,
I mean, what real way to take all the danger, Ken.
You know, the work has to get done, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think I drove through it, so it looks like the weather's good now. So
Awesome. Well, I mean, it's headed the other direction.
that's right. So, I was
you're
glad
coming
to get away
opposite the
from it.
storm. We're going to talk a little bit about Youngsville as a whole. Because
Yes.
Drew was just singing y'all's praises. So he's on the city council for
Yeah,
St. George,
yeah.
who just became a city recently, and they've had eyes on y'all.
Well, I mean, I was glad to meet him, and it's very impressive what St. George has been doing, and you know, there's not many people that can say that they've been part of an effort to create a city,
Right.
and be part of the first elected body of that city. So we've been following the story, and I think it's really inspirational for all of us that want a great place to live. St. George is a perfect example of it. I mean, you create what you want to see, and I've been extremely impressed at seeing how they've been tackling outstanding work orders. Their social media effort has been extremely impressive. So no, I think that we do have a lot of similarities in the just wanting a great place to live, quality of life, and just a focus on the basics that matter that local governments should be focused on. So no, impressive effort, and I congratulate and commend all of them for their efforts and their success.
Well, and you know, you rewind the clock a little ways because it was well over a decade-long battle. It started with wanting an independent school district, and then evolved into that. And it was very contentious here in Baton Rouge, pro St. George, anti St. George. And I'm always going to be on the side of people who want to control their own destiny,
without a question. And you know, Youngsville was very similar in that we had a lot of question about should we create an independent school district. So there is a lot of similarities. I mean, and fortunately for us at the time, we were, I'm grateful that we had a charter school company come in. Today, we have a charter school campus in the city of Youngsville that has 4,000 kids on that one campus, K to 12. So that basically solved our needs, and it really got the Lafayette Parish school system to step up within the city of Youngsville, renovate our campuses, add more classrooms. So watching other communities with similar efforts has been great for me to watch.
All right, just because, I mean, crushing it in Youngsville, but not everybody knows Youngsville. So
That's right.
South of Lafayette, how big is Youngsville?
Yeah, so Youngsville is about 12 square miles, but population base, I mean, we're probably just shy of 22,000 people today. It's historically been known as a rapidly growing community, although we've tried to really shift that conversation and make it more quality driven. It's Lafayette Parish's second largest, most populated community. And you're right, just south of Lafayette Parish, the city of Youngsville, people that live there have shared common denominators of wanting a great place to live, and that's focused on great schools, low crime, quality of life that's driven a lot by our Parks and Rec department. Youngsville is unique because the taxpayers of Youngsville in 2011 passed a 1 cent dedicated sales tax that goes to fund Parks and Recreation. So Parks and Recreation is really part of our DNA in the city of Youngsville. The Youngsville Sports Complex has been a tremendous demand generator. This year alone, in the first quarter, we hosted 6 college tournaments spanning 3 different sports. So the Youngsville Sports Complex is a huge demand driver for our community. And we've been very fortunate to welcome teams from not only across our state, but from around the world. Today alone, we have a team from China, 10-year-olds from China. We have another team from Mexico that are arriving today to play in the Mustang Pony World Series.
So baseball.
Baseball, yes. So we also have a team in the city of Youngsville today from the Caribbean island of Bonaire, which is just off the coast of Venezuela. So huge emphasis on Parks and Rec, quality of life. Our soccer program is well in excess of 2,000 kids. Baseball, softball, t-ball pushed in about 2,000 kids for the last probably decade. And we have no boundary requirements for Parks and Rec in the city of Youngsville. If you can, similar to our charter school, if you have the means to get to the charter school, if you have the means to get to the city of Youngsville to participate in Parks and Rec, we welcome you to our community.
Okay, so that many ballparks, and I got the website open over here. What's the hotel situation in Youngsville?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Youngsville does. Let me tell you some interesting things about Youngsville further. Youngsville does not have a hotel, but Youngsville also doesn't have a red light in the city. We have listening to you on an earlier segment talk about traffic. I mean, I heard you say Segan Lane and all that. And,
it's a nightmare.
We have invested heavily in roundabouts. The city of Youngsville has about, I think it's maybe 12 roundabouts at major intersections. So if I included all of like the smaller neighborhood ones, I mean, we're pushing probably close to 20, but at least 12 major intersection roundabouts. Hotels, back to your question, we enjoy having a lot of Airbnbs, but hotels, I think the Lafayette Convention and Visitors Bureau is grateful to have.
That's where I was going. That's actually where I was going with that.
Lafayette Parish is geographically a very small parish. So South Lafayette, that College Saloon corridor, is so close to the city of Youngsville. That those hotels benefit from the demand generator of the Youngsville Sports Complex. So we're still hopeful. We're still optimistic. Any hotel operators that are listening, we do have land available. My background is in hospitality.
Really?
It is. Yeah. That's, I've spent years managing Marriott and Hilton franchises.
Okay.
And, now I feel like I'm running a big hotel.
Mine isn't. My background's in hospitality.
Is that right?
Yep. I worked as a sales manager for a Comfort Inn.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, what I find so interesting is that hospitality, the basic skills of please, thank you, cleanliness, friendliness, that transcends just about any industry.
Yes, it
which,
does.
by the way, I need to commend your director of first impressions that I've met.
Oh, Miss Judy, Mama J.
And I say that because if you haven't been to the studio, that nameplate downstairs caught my attention, but more than the nameplate was the personality, the hospitality, just the welcoming. So you guys have something extremely unique there. So
Oh, yes, we do.
yeah. So no hotel in the city of Youngsville, but we have a lot of great hotels in Lafayette Parish that would love to host you if you come to visit Youngsville.
That's actually where I was going with that. By the way, Ken Ritter, the mayor of Youngsville, is our guest right now. We're supposed to talk about a concert.
Yeah,
we'll get to it eventually. But that's actually where I was going with that, was because when you zoom out a little bit,
that's right.
It's about partnerships and relationships.
Everything,
and that is when you see like a Lafayette that has the hotels, you can piggyback off that quick 15 minutes maybe to get from point A to point B.
That's right.
And then you run all the teams through y'all's facility.
That's correct.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win for the entire parish, for the entire region. Youth sports tourism is a huge driver. Our neighboring community of Broussard shares a lot of the similar qualities, where we're able to host and bring in even larger tournaments and events that just benefit the greater Lafayette economy.
Mm-hmm. No, it's good stuff. Now, aside from a sports complex, what else is there to offer?
Yeah, so Youngsville's great. I mean, it was initially a sugarcane community, but today, it's largely known for our great quality of life. But we have a laser focus today on trying to attract, businesses to be able to really make our community a little bit more well-rounded, to bring in people, investment into our city. We've been actively tackling the Louisiana Economic Development Certified Sites program to make sure.
Go!
Yeah, exactly. We want to make sure that we have a voice at the table, and that Youngsville is represented when large corporations or companies or startups or whatever it is are seeking property. And so lots of opportunity. It's not just a bedroom community anymore. I mean, we are really growing a community that can be self-sustainable. I mean, whether it's a physician's office or larger CPA firm or an employment generator. I mean, one of our larger employees, quality companies, is celebrating an expansion right now of preserving about 175 jobs, but expanding their manufacturing to the oil and gas industry. So oil and gas is heavy. That's one of the main drivers of our economy. Healthcare, medical is, of course. So yeah, a lot of great things.
And when it comes to that, by the way, Youngsville's mayor, Ken Ritter's our guest. When it comes to that, y'all are uniquely positioned to be choosers, not beggars. I mean, oftentimes when you're looking for any kind of economic development, it's like, I'll take whatever I can get. Y'all have a little bit more sway.
Yeah, well, I'll say in terms of economic development for any type of job creator or any type of business, we want you to come to the city of Youngsville. We are going to be easy to do business with. You won't be, relegated to. You will be visiting with myself or a member of my office. In most cases, probably both of us. So we will literally roll out the red carpet when it comes to economic development and business retention, business expansion. On the residential side, I'll say that we have been increasing standards over the last decade. So I would say that's where we are a little bit more selective. We want to make sure that we're, of course, offering a variety of housing options and so forth. But that's where we're a little bit more particular, where we're raising standards. Of course, everything looks great today, when it's new, but we're looking down the road, literally, figuratively, and want to make sure that, we're building a community that we can still be proud of in a decade and beyond, that the infrastructure is in place in a timely manner, and that, we're not wasting our time stuck in traffic or concerned about low water pressure.
All right, we got 30 seconds till break. We were supposed to get to. I tell you, you can hang out.
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll take a break on air. It'll be Your Money Now and a check of traffic. When we come back, we'll talk about the concert, what's on tap, and what's to come. In the meanwhile, like I said, we're gonna get you to Your Money Now right here on Talk 107 with Ray FM. Don't forget, Moon and Griffon's coming up after us, as he does every day, 9 to noon. You catch Moon Griffon. He's got a lot on his plate today, specifically with the Liz Murrell stuff. Here's Your Money Now. Ben Berthelot.
Great guy.
Yeah, so I do a lot with Chris Landry from LTA.
Yes, which thank you. That was the introduction.
Yes.
So very grateful.
And Ben runs the CVB over there in Lafayette. and we just happen to be members of or brothers actually within the same Catholic ministry.
Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah, we've been on the same. It's called Acts. We've been on the
Okay.
same retreat, not at the same time, not in the
Yeah.
same place, but it's grown like to
Oh, I
all
love
kinds
that.
of parishes and whatnot. So found that out right away. And we
Yeah.
incorporated it all.
No, he's been awesome for that. Moon records in the KPEL studio. So yeah, we cross paths often. He's a character.
Yes, he
He's a character. So and I know he'll be fired up today talking about the AG.
I haven't been able to give that story enough time today.
Yeah.
I do my best to report news and hold my opinion until like I share opinion, but
Sure.
it's a morning show.
Right.
People expect a level of newswheel with personality and
Yeah.
It's like someone decided that a formal letter was intimidation.
Right.
For a very specific purpose.
That's right.
And I get it. Everybody's
It's
looking at
definitely an
her as being-
overreach, probably, you know.
And they're looking at her as being vindictive to
Right.
hunt out who it is. But the system is weaponized against her. So the system can be weaponized against anyone.
It's concerning. You know, our former mayor president in Lafayette Parish, Josh Guillory, was indicted on a drainage project. And it's like, but it does make you wonder, you know, because when you hear indictment, you're thinking like,
Hang on. We are off, right? All right. 856 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We got Youngsville's mayor Ken Ritter in with us. I appreciate you sticking through the break, man.
My pleasure.
Which, by the way, during the break, he did mention that he knows Moon. So you got Moon Griffon coming up next.
Oh boy.
Because Moon is based out of Lafayette.
He is. We cross paths sometimes in the studio there.
Very nice, awesome stuff. All right, let's talk about the concert coming up.
Yes,
we got Little Big Town.
Yeah, Little Big Town. It's September 12th. It's a Saturday night, and very excited about it. It's being in Youngsville. We have an outdoor amphitheater, so this is the amphitheater at the Youngsville Sports Complex. If you haven't heard about it, it's okay because it's new.
Okay,
we have not been open that long, so it is a great opportunity to make the trip to come across the basin, spend the night, or just come for the evening, spend the weekend if you like. But it's Little Big Town at the Youngsville Amphitheater. And we're so excited about having the opportunity to host a Grammy award-winning act in the city of Youngsville. So another live music venue for South Louisiana in the region to be part of. Look, in Lafayette, we come to the River Center. We come and, enjoy all the great amenities that the city of Baton Rouge and the surrounding area have. So this is my invite to you guys. We would love to have you to come check it out. The venue is really unique because we've created earthen berms.
This is it right here?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I'm looking at a picture of it online, and it's a big berm.
It's unique. It's the highest point around, and it's the highest point around. We were doing some drainage projects nearby, and we had a lot of dirt left over. And I learned the cost of relocating dirt. So we said, let's do something cool with it.
Yeah.
So what we created was this very unique outdoor space. And now we're excited to welcome another live music act. We had Lauren Daigle recently at the Youngsville Amphitheater. It was such a phenomenal evening of entertainment. And look, you don't have to be a Little Big Town lover or fan. If you enjoy live music, this is another great opportunity to help to enjoy the space there with us. Little Big Town, though, you would know their music. I mean, we're talking a lot of great favorites from Pontoon, Boondocks, Better Man.
Day Drinking.
Yeah, Day Drinking. I can go on and on. But what's great about this group is that they also have some new music coming out. They have a new album that they're dropping in a couple of weeks, which will be just before they come visit us in Youngsville. They just released a new song in the Country Music Awards that were just held a couple weeks ago. And a couple of us just had the opportunity to see them live in Memphis last week at one of their amphitheaters. And I tell you, it was a phenomenal experience. It's very kid-friendly and appropriate if you want to have a date night or a family outing.
We got 10 seconds left.
Yes.
Where do folks go for tickets?
YoungsvilleSportsComplex.com, and that's Little Big Town, September 12th. Please come.
Ken Ritter, appreciate a couple minutes, man. Thank you so
much.
My
pleasure. Thanks for hosting me.
Y'all stick around. Moon Griffon's next. That was super quick on the back end. All right, hey, we got to get out of here, Facebook. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
I appreciate the hands.